That one, yeah, that's what I was saying.
It's just Escobar fucking just sit. Yeah, these GIF apps are amazing. Oh my, is it tenure?
Logan's in the chat.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he can hear you.
Dude, I just know any people, everyone just sending like hella gifts now. Or
He's got this one too. It's so funny.
it's so nice having that on your computer. Brad's still using the old school images. But the Tinder ones come through small.
Tinder?
Tinder.
6 foot on Tinder.
Put 6 foot on.
You don't fuck with the war? No, I don't fuck with the war.
Ready? We're going.
Is everybody in there?
Well, we're live.
Oh, fuck.
I ain't shot.
I think you are.
Oh, we're actually like.
Hell yeah,
And
we're
then
in
you
shot.
And then you go.
Which one of you guys is doing the intro part? He
Oh,
did it.
go ahead, Zach.
He did
Coming to you
it.
live from the basement. SureFire Fantasy Podcast Mid-Season Awards with your hosts Will Schumann, Mike Lovett, and Zach Button.
Welcome on board.
Hey everybody! First ever live.
First time, long time.
Actually coming to you live.
Yeah, actually coming to you live from the freaking basement. Now we have done a live thing before. The highly debatable what's the word? Highly
a highly anticipated,
Coveted.
long-coming
the draft.
talented.
No, I'm talking about how the highly conspiratorial draft that we did, draft lottery.
Okay.
Where Zach somehow was able to
we did do that
swindle the
live.
first pick in the draft,
Yeah, I regret that.
A long way.
which did not work out for him. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to my house. It's been a minute.
It has, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a minute for me.
I can confirm I did not have COVID.
Yeah, I completely forgot to follow up. Like, you just got, like,
Wait, you had a
allergies.
COVID? You had a COVID scare?
I sure did. Oh, yeah, that's not even close enough to you.
That's what I realized. I was like,
Hold that
really?
thing a lot closer there. Yeah, I didn't have a COVID scare. I said I knew I probably didn't have it, but just in case, I was really, really, like, sick, like, cold sick, and it only lasted, like, 2 days. It was, like, a really quick sinus infection. I don't know what it was.
Nice.
Yep.
I'm glad you. Yeah, 'tis the season.
It is the season.
I did get engaged.
He got engaged,
couple
and,
weeks ago,
and
so a week ago.
congratulations, my guy.
That is like real life.
Yeah,
I know, I was upset. I had to
feel
see it on
weird
Facebook.
About it. I don't know. I just feel weird.
Well,
Just like posting things
Super
about it.
congratulations, man. That's
Thanks,
fucking
guys. I
awesome. My chair
appreciate
just went low.
Gosh. What's it like being a grown up?
Doesn't feel any different. No, honestly, we've been dating for 5 years. Yeah, pretty much. Now just wedding talks a lot.
Oh,
So.
it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Wow, we got actually everyone. Almost everyone's in here.
I mean, we got 5. Damn.
I have no idea, but we got people.
You guys got YouTube up. I ain't got
8,
that.
5. So, well, you can read my chat here, buddy. But also, you can pull up YouTube if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Double screen it, couldn't I?
How we all doing, everybody? This week, what we're gonna do here is Kevin and okay, whatever. This week, what we're gonna do is the mid-season awards show. We did it last year. I think in week 8, maybe.
Do we have like 200 views on that one?
It's a crowd
Yeah,
pleaser, you
listens.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how. I think it's because the name is Mid-Season Awards. By the way, how did this come up on YouTube? Did this come up as a name of like I forgot to name it. I don't know what this comes up as on YouTube.
SureFire Fantasy.
Live stream title.
Oh, okay.
There
I
it
forgot
is.
to name it. Well, anyways, this is the Mid-Season Awards show. It says Zach's mic is bad. How bad? Like really bad?
Like, is it me or is it my mic?
Oh, Zach's mic is fucked. Hold up.
What happened?
I don't know.
Oh, no.
How about
Hey, so
now?
that is a nice part about a live.
I can't hear. Hey, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you.
It was messed up last time, I think.
That's what he said. Testing. How you guys got me now?
Well, that was clutch as shit. Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
thanks.
Wow, we would have gone the whole podcast.
Yeah,
really
let's
bad.
go. I like that.
Oh,
Looking out for us.
I know Oktoberfest, amazing. So
Not sponsored, but
it is sponsored.
get out there and buy your 12 packs
Get your
a day.
October on.
October's already almost over. That's wild.
Anyways, I think we had a
We're getting a
pretty
little- we're getting a little
active.
talky
We
here.
had a pretty active
I
week
feel like
this
everyone's
week.
here.
No, I do too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
You want to go through results, Zach?
Yeah, I kind of like this. It
Yeah,
started
Zach
with
is
last
scared
to get
week.
into
Yeah,
it.
Zach
I was
is
just
already up with the
chilling.
results.
Yeah, I don't want to sit here and talk. There was a really bad Pooh Bowl game last week. I was part of it. Wow, people keep changing their names. So the newly named new banger closer
See, I hate the name
against the
changing.
Gulag.
Let's just name the people. No more naming the teams. We don't. If you change your name a million times, you don't get the respect of us naming your team because we have no idea what the fuck it is.
Logan versus Zach, Pooh Bowl of the year. Logan came out with a win, 94.6-72.
That's 2 in a row.
2 wins for
Logan.
him. Like
He's hot.
4 losses in a row for me. So
This was your idea, Dalt. We appreciate it. We're gonna stick with it probably from now on.
Yeah, it's
Also,
really nice.
has nobody else ever noticed that Zach always wears glasses on the podcast, but never ever in real life?
I do in real life. You just don't see me. Jonathan Taylor gang. Robin with the big loss of 102
Is Robin?
against Dalt, 125. Man, Dalt
Dolphin.
coming on hot.
Dolphin.
Having his Dolphin moment. 2-win streak, looking good. Big win against Kevin last week. Big win against Robin.
He's hot.
He's hot.
He's hot. Is he 3-3? And
Yeah.
he's in the thick of it.
He
so
is. He's right in the thick.
He's an
And
up and comer.
He's doing the opposite of the Robin right now. He just beat Robin
Yeah.
because isn't Robin on a? Is he 0-3 in the last 3 weeks?
No,
lost
that was
that?
one loss because he beat me.
Okay.
He beat me in, which don't count. So then we had this was a pretty big game. Jordan against Mike. Jordan with the loss score of 124 against Mike's 145.
I needed this one really bad.
Big win.
I needed it really
right
bad.
before the bye weeks.
Yeah.
Then I had Coleman. Gosh, so many name changes against
Kevin just said he's changing his name every week now. Kevin, you already do, so that means nothing to me.
Double D cups.
I'm already annoyed by you.
I do like his name. That one's pretty good. But Kevin with the shocking win of 150, surviving the Derrick Henry pop off of 144.
I get to
don't
take
wanna-
him on this week.
I don't want to throw too much shade, but Kevin lost to you and Logan combined by 18 points.
That's a big 18's a lot, you know.
That's the whole point,
That's a
you
good
know?
performance.
We did have you guys ranked bottom last week, and you ended up being the Pooh Bowl against each other, so that kind of makes a little bit of
Hey,
sense.
Who's surprised?
survive in advance,
Yeah.
right?
If I put a defense in, I would have scored either -1 or 3 more points. That's exciting times.
Technical difficulties. Keep going.
All right, we're good. Then we had, Will gonna get the win. That's sad.
I can never get the win.
Will with a
Just can't
109
close.
losing score.
Couldn't even beat you.
No.
A lot of close losses for me.
Yeah, with Brad.
In fact, I think every week except for the Jordan week, which I got annihilated on, I've been within 10 points. No, Mike and Jordan. Mike's week was somewhat close. It was my best
Gotcha.
every week, but
And you could have beat Coleman too.
couldn't be
We'll
Coleman.
Bring that up.
Should have went down.
Brad with the solid win, keeping the 5-1 lead record, 117 points. So good job to all the winners.
Dalt says W with the Sam Adams mic.
Mm-hmm.
You just found out about
Big
that.
up. Dude, I love it. Oktoberfest. I can't believe it took me this long to get to it.
You gotta wait till October though, so you were limited. You were limited. 11 months out of the year, you just had no
I'm
idea.
gonna hammer them this weekend.
Gosh.
Anyways,
Well, that was the week we all know and
all
hated.
know and love, you know.
But are we excited for this week?
No.
No.
I
have to play
it's
Kevin.
gonna be nerve-wracking.
After this is my last week of hope, and it's
No, it's
going
not.
away
1 and
fast.
6, you can come back.
I have to
5
win
and 7,
out.
you can get in.
It's very interesting though, because like
Not with low points.
but
Yeah.
yeah, that's hurt you. But people are gonna start playing each other. There's gonna be big losses coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You have a
well,
lot of the top tier teams playing each other, so
I also have to play Mike twice and Coleman twice.
you're not making the playoffs.
Nope.
Oof.
And Jordan twice.
Wow. Yeah, you're done.
You'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Keep hoping.
So are we doing? Okay, we're
we
gonna
had
go over
some
trades.
waivers.
Oh,
No,
waivers.
waivers, which really
Not
Kind of a low waiver
It's a
week.
low waiver week.
especially with a lot of buy. I guess because there's not on options.
well, and also the fact that it's just man. Well, yeah, you would think it'd be a high one because of all the buys and what people
Yeah.
need, but there's
I
no
think-
players left.
I think people are out of fab too.
But even then, like the bids and everything.
This is
so it's
fab. Yeah.
it's probably the worst tight end waiver week of all time. There's a lot of people are hoarding tight ends right now, but also just like, I mean, the highest waiver wire tight end is freaking Robert Tonyan, and I don't even know how he's projected 7. That blows my mind, but he's been horrible.
He's
And then
going for
the next
20.
highest is Mo Alley Cox
Hey, that's a big man.
at 6.
Who needs tight end?
I mean,
Robin needed him bad, but then he did that.
Did that
Now
trade.
Mike has 3, but Mike probably needs 1 if Gronk doesn't play.
I do
he
have
had
3.
was Hunter Henry on a buy?
He
Hunter
traded
Henry.
Hunter Henry.
But
That's a good point. I do have Hunter Henry. I'm gonna change my my waiver.
Dang, we just helped you out.
Thank you. I had Jared Cook too. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Anyways, we really had 2 notable waivers this week. What's his name?
Dearness
Johnson, which Robin spent all his fab on for $29. The win now move, pretty much.
Oh, 1 week, 29.
I think Chubb will be back next week or at worst the following week. So it might be a 2-week.
But do you think he still fills the role of Kareem Hunt?
Hey, he could do the Hunt,
or
actually.
just take it all?
I think it'll be probably 75 or 80% Chubb, 20% Johnson.
Everyone are winners in Logan's eyes.
That's too much positivity for
Yeah, we
actual
can't
podcast.
That's also some grammar issues I'm just not okay with. Logan.
No, we can't have that in this.
Grammarly.
And then I will say the other notable one was Jarvis Landry for $12, which Coleman picked
Oh,
up.
my girlfriend's in the chat. Hello.
Hi, Miranda.
Hi, Miranda. Got to stay positive. She did win me a lot of money by staying positive.
There you go.
And then I lost it.
yeah.
It's gone.
That was
The
good
positivity's
insight.
gone. Sorry, baby.
You lost it all.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty
But
slow.
Yeah, waivers pretty bad this
pretty
year.
slow week for waivers.
It's hard to
so.
be positive when you're so bad, Zach.
I'm staying positive.
Are
I
you?
like it.
Doesn't feel like it. Feels like you and
good.
me both understand.
I'm good. No, because here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop someone from making the playoffs, and I'm going to
There
feel
you go.
on top of the
There you
world.
go.
I know that's my new goal.
I'm going to be so
after I lose
happy
this week,
when
I'm just
Robert
gonna
doesn't
fuck
make it because
people
of me.
over.
Oh, I'm so excited.
So yeah, waivers pretty dull this week, but let's get into the trades. Lots of trades.
Lots.
We're gonna get into some of them. Not
We
every
tried to
single
get
thing.
all of them in there. There was a lot. There was some minor ones, so we didn't note those. But
And we
those
know
are the big
these
ones.
mid-season awards are gonna take up some time. So we're gonna just do the ones that were this week for this week that were notable.
They were notable, though. There was a lot of
yeah.
a lot of big names.
It might be a bigger trading year than last year. But at some point, that's gonna have to start.
We should
slowing
have
down.
totaled the amount of trades.
I think we can still go back and see.
It's hard with a lot of my fake ones.
Yeah,
You guys are killing
stop
us.
doing that. No, okay. Bipocalypse has always been a thing. Why does it seem like this year it's more of a talking point and like an issue?
No,
for people?
It's never been this bad. They talked about that on the
They did?
Ballers today.
Is it because it's notable teams like such?
It's I think it has something to do with the way the schedule is this year, but there's a lot of teams and every single one is fantasy. Like this is tied for the most ever teams in 1 week on a bye,
And they're all fantasy.
and they're all
relevant.
fantasy relevant.
Okay,
Like super fantasy relevant.
Yeah, certain.
because I'm screwed in your dad's league.
Are you?
I have like 5 people on bye, and they're all starters.
I'm actually totally fine in both leagues. The only one I had was Mike Williams, who I traded away, but other than that, I'm
Ooh,
fine.
trade. I like that. You
Yep.
traded Mike Williams.
Yep.
Brad.
I did.
Will and Brad did a pretty big trade. D. Williams,
I made
D.
Brad
Smith,
stronger.
and CEH to Will for Mike Williams and AJ Brown to Brad. You took back CEH and Smith. Please elaborate.
Dear Lord, I hope CEH doesn't come back. But
you like Williams?
Oh yeah, I
Williams has
think
been really good.
Williams already was the touchdown guy, and I think he stays the touchdown guy. But now he's the touchdown guy with the work, in
Yeah.
my opinion. And I mean, he proved one game in, he got 22 points against me. It freaking killed me. If Brad had CEH there, I win last week. But Brad
That's so
had Williams
funny.
instead.
That's so
I really
funny.
do, because when's the last time CEH got in the 20s? He doesn't do that.
It was like high teens.
He's
what
done
it
that.
was.
He got
100-yard
like
They
a
did
high
2 weeks
teens
in a
game.
row.
But yeah,
You wrote that and sent him out.
But
I can't.
It's a win now move, right? That's why you did
I
it, right?
absolutely
Okay.
cannot lose. And I actually really, really do like Derrick Williams, like big time like him.
But you got rid of your golden child.
Yeah, Mike Williams.
I know I didn't. It really sucks to do it, but I knew I had to do it. I knew this was the time to do it.
He's on a
so
bye
He's on
this
a bye.
week, yeah.
So, and I actually think I lucked out with what I got out of that. I'm pretty happy with Derrick Williams.
Nice.
And Devontae Smith is my third time having him now.
He looks good though. He looks legit.
Well, you got CEH
sometimes.
bag, Devontae Smith. You rolling?
I think at this point I'm like do or die. So the stack is a do if it works,
Yeah.
and if it dies, it dies.
Did he
But
play
I'm
this
with
week?
it.
Kevin with no buys. Kevin
Good
with
luck.
no buys.
Hey, you'll be fine though.
ED on
No
the
worries.
bench.
Kevin, please be nice.
Then this one was actually more talked about. This is probably the only one that was really talked about. I think even someone left the chat. We had Logan and Brad making a pretty big trade. Marvin and Tyreek going to Logan for Zeke and Parker.
Is Coleman in the chat? You know.
He's on a date. He's on a date right now.
Oh, that's
I
right.
want to know why
I wish he was in
so
the fucking
upset
chat.
about
Yeah.
it. Like,
I'm super upset that Coleman was that upset. That bugged me because if you're upset, it's one thing, but he was upset that,
So he
in my
absolutely
opinion,
think-
the loser got screwed.
No.
Yeah, well, it's a
No.
very even
It's an
trade.
even trade.
I know,
and
it's an even
We can
trade.
have this conversation with Brad. Like, there's just a difference between Tyreek and Zeke when you
Yeah.
break them down and what they do for your team, and then you add the stack level to it.
No, I agree. But the fact that I think the other way around was the winner, and multiple people think that, and he thinks it was so bad that he wanted to leave the freaking group chat.
I will say, I think
is annoying.
I think Brad won. I like Zeke more than Tyreek. I just think I don't like the inconsistency of Tyreek. Tyreek has like 40-point potential, but Zeke's been a top 5 running back this year.
It's really hard for me to decipher because it goes into full roster, because I think with the difference of Brad's team, if he had CMC now, like that's a huge question mark. Tyreek is the type of guy that wins you weeks. Zeke's going to get you 15, and that gets hidden.
I'm trying to think of Brad's team before this trade. So it was probably CMC, Montgomery, and then who was his other running back? I'm trying to remember.
C-H-and-D Williams.
So I don't mind the Mike Williams trade.
Yeah.
It's always good to have 3 elite running backs. So I
now
get it.
in the sense of it, him pulling Mike Williams, I like it more. So
Yeah,
props to you,
yeah,
Brad,
yeah.
because now I can see that all listed out here.
That makes
I
sense.
think that made his team kind of balanced. But man, Tyreek,
yeah.
it's like he got 17 points last week, 18 with an injury.
Go ahead. You ready? I can see you just like fucking winding it up over there.
I was ignoring it out of my peripheral.
No. So no, I think Logan. I think Logan won that trade. But the thing is that he got Zeke now. Look at it this way: he basically lost in terms of like really relative players. He traded Tyreek and Williams for Zeke and Mike Williams, and I think Mike Williams is like very close to Tyreek-esque in terms of how explosive he can be. In fact, he's been just as good as Tyreek this year.
When I see it that way, Brad won. But when you're comparing Tyreek and Zeke, I don't get the audacious of, oh my God, Zeke. Like, Tyreek wins you week, Zeke just does his job.
I'm probably the only one in the league, but I'm not sold on Williams as a wide receiver 1 still. I'm still not, but we'll see.
But I think
Would you like to make a bet on it?
No,
Okay.
because we've already bet enough.
He gets
so.
a boomer bust
The
win.
boomer bust. So they're similar
But so does
players.
Tyreek.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
But I think
but that's what I'm saying.
Tyreek has a
He
higher
filled
floor
that
for
void.
sure, but it is a boomer bust player for both of them.
Well,
so.
Mike Williams is likely going to get hurt.
And I think I'm
So-
in the minority on that.
Yeah.
So.
So I think it got cut off last week. So we made, and I do want to bring this up now. Me and Kevin made a bet about Patterson, and I want to make sure it's live. And I think I accidentally cut it last week.
You mean Coleman?
No,
me and Kevin.
he did it offline.
Yeah.
Oh, but he brought it up.
Last week, me and Kevin bet that Cordarrelle Patterson. I bet that he is a top 12 running back. He bet he isn't. For $100, no injury. Or no, there was like 13 weeks. He has to play 13 weeks.
What's Patterson right now?
He's the 10, but he had a bye already. He's the only guy that was in the top 10.
I think Kevin's gonna win that bet easily.
He was 4 before the bye week, and now, or he was 3 before the bye week. Now he's 10, so he's still he's already missed his bye, and all the guys above him haven't had a bye. So, but
It's bold. I like that you still play your players.
I'm actually positive, unless he gets injured, he will. I'm positive, very
I
positive.
don't think so. Hey,
Hello, Zeke.
Should have bet more than 100. That's
No
how
more
it is.
spicy chip bets. 100%, Brand. I will never again. Ever.
What?
They can have one between themselves.
Thank you.
We
can do something else at some point.
It was the worst moment. It was one of the worst
We'll
moments.
tell
of
him
my
it's
life.
spicy chip. We'll get the mild.
I was hospitalized. I was hospitalized until I had cancer, and it was not as bad as that chip.
Oh my gosh. I think we have a handful more here. So actually, this next trade's between me and Rob, which happened earlier today, which was Eckler and Henry for Hawkinson and Swift. What's your guys' take on this? Since I was involved in it.
Okay, hey, Logan says he is going to finish top 12 for sure. Brad said top 5. I don't know if Brad's
Top
being serious.
5? Are you?
I really
kidding
do.
me?
I really do think he finishes top 5. He gets the work of a Christian
Over
McCaffrey.
who?
He gets the work of a Christian McCaffrey. He was top 5 before, and that was with week 1 not even being used until they realized he was good.
Everyone's saying they like top 12, but top 5.
I wouldn't make that bet, but I think there's a very, very realistic
No,
chance.
I don't think top 12. I really don't.
As a wide receiver, by the way, he's 7th in the NFL as a wide receiver. That's a big deal.
The only thing I think I give it, it's
got
gonna be
the
because
Christian
of
McCaffrey workload.
Everyone else is going to get injured.
He's got the McCaffrey workload.
Yeah, he's going to get it. Just because of injuries.
I'm with Kevin. I'm with you, Kevin.
Well, my takes this year, my hot takes that have been the big ones that Mike really disagrees with are Mike Williams and Cordarrelle Patterson, and I'm going to get those. So at the end of the year, I'm bringing it back.
That's fine.
Let's move on. Okay, so
not in the playoffs,
the trade that happened this week, I won't be in the playoffs. You are so right.
But he's going to give those players everyone else who's going to win the playoffs.
That's what I got to brag about.
No, he's good with the hot takes. I will say that.
I've also been good with waivers this year.
Hurts, you were
Herbert
good
worked
with,
out really good.
But you are good at picking out your few players.
Yep.
So moving on. So as I mentioned, me and Robin had a trade this week. it was Eckler and Henry for Hockenson and Swift. What's your guys' take on it? Just real quick.
How did you get Eckler back? So you gained Chubb and you got Eckler back. It's
a win now move for Robin, and Swift RB1. Hockenson has high upside as well. I think that's how the deal gets done. Honestly, I needed I wanted another elite running back, and he's a better running back than Swift, obviously, but that's why Hockenson was included with it. So
right,
extremely fair in my opinion. But
you can stream a tight end. I mean, Hockenson hasn't been amazing. He's dealing with injuries. Yeah, extremely fair. I think it's hard to believe that you got. I know he dropped, but he was the second best running back right back, and you gained Chubb.
Pretty excited about
it.
So.
But I mean, obviously, in the sense of true trade sense, you feel Robin won the trade, but I think situationally, I feel like Mike won that one.
I think that Mike won. I think like it's pretty easy. I think that it's pretty obvious. I think it's pretty obvious that Mike won the trade, in my opinion. I think that Eckler had a kind of bad week, and Mike kind of took advantage of that. I think the Swift garbage timed his way into a good week.
Which week?
A lot of weeks.
Yeah. Swift is an RB1 though.
No, Swift is very good. Sure Swift is really, really good. I don't think it was a super up. I don't think it was even like an unfair trade in the slightest. But I think Mike won that trade because I think Eckler is one of those guys that is going to be one like he definitely will beat Patterson, even though I have Patterson finishing really high because Eckler is the guy who gets that receiving work too, but also gets way more carries.
He's finishing top 3.
Probably.
I really do.
Yeah, I don't see how not. So.
But I guess that moves on to our next one here, Dalton and Logan.
Jordan, you did make one trade. You were just too drunk and we couldn't get it finished.
Jordan has made a trade.
He says, I don't think
he made another one.
What trade?
It says it in the league.
Oh, well, Jordan, you've made a trade somewhere.
He doesn't know what it is.
But Jordan, your team was drafted really well, and that will come up a little bit later here in these awards. You did draft really well. Your team is still pretty much together.
Yeah. Probably fake.
It probably is fake. It's if it says one, it's the one that we just made.
No. Oh, is it? Yeah.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but that brings us to our next trade, which was between Dalton and Logan, which was Fournette and McKinnon for Gibson and Godwin, which Dalton received Gibson and Godwin in that, and Logan received Fournette pretty much. So, I like that you went and got Fournette, Logan.
McKinnon was dropped, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was dropped. That's why I said. But yeah, that's a good point. McKinnon got dropped. So
it was just for Fournette.
Pretty much. And I like that you got Fournette, Logan. I think you could have gotten so much more for Gibson and Godwin.
So he was packaging those people no matter what, because I know for a fact he offered them to me for somebody. He clearly didn't want them. And so we'll talk about this later on, actually. So I'll skip over what I was going to say on that. But I do think maybe I'm assuming he did the same thing in that trade where he just offered that deal straight up, and maybe he could have tried something a little bit different. But I will also say I love Fournette, and I am super afraid of Gibson.
Too. I think he's gonna be great.
I'm super afraid of Gibson and Godwin because it almost seems like Antonio Brown did take that.
Dalton's in the chat, right?
Yeah, he's in the chat.
What have you given him more for that trade, Dalton?
Was that a tough choice for you? Would you have given him more, or was that an instant he sent that and you took it? I'm curious about that. Are there any other trades?
There was 2 more. Huh?
He said it's because he had McKissick, so he felt good with the handcuffs. So
no, I understand that.
It's still hard for me when I see like the 2-for-1 kind of packages. Like I get wanting to get out from someone, but like, and obviously I'm not in those conversations. But why do people settle for like a 2-for-1? But here I am about to be brought up, but I feel like I still try to go for depth, and it confuses me when teams don't do that.
Yeah, I guess my question is like, why didn't Logan try to go get like Tyler Boyd, for instance, over just like a throwaway?
Right.
That's kind of where I was confused with it. Other than that, I mean, I like that you got Fournette.
He probably accepted it instantly because he said he told Logan before he accepted it that he said the league is going to spaz out if I take this trade. And he said, no, they won't. Logan said, no, they won't. Because I think Logan knew that they wouldn't, mostly because Logan now knows that we're just not going to spaz out on his trades anymore. And Logan seems to keep on making these trades that look so bad to a lot of us work out.
It's crazy how much they work out.
They look really bad a lot of the time, and that one doesn't look good either. But
the theory of our name thing that we continually bring up, like, is there value in the name or is there value in the performances?
That's different in this case because Fournette is also still a name. I know it's not a fantasy as relevant name as those two guys, but in this case, I think it's 2 guys that have been underperforming big time and have big time question marks and haven't really shown like dominance. Yeah. Whereas I don't think there's huge names in
I
there.
love him getting Fournette, honestly. He's better than Gibson at this point. So I get you going to get Fournette. I wish you would have got another piece, but hey, that is what it is, and we'll see what happens with it. So
I don't think Hardman's booty, Kevin. I think Hardman actually could be really good.
McCole Hardman?
Yeah.
They're talking about he would have given Hardman or Boyd, but Kevin says they're both booty, but they're startable.
Boyd's good.
Boyd
Hardman,
booty.
no, I wouldn't have wanted
backwards for
Hardman
me.
either.
As soon as Higgins came back, Boyd was irrelevant, and Higgins is still back. But Hardman is getting targets, like he's getting a lot of them, and can get a boom game. I don't think Boyd gets boom games.
No Josh Gordon.
So any more trades? Is that
we
it?
got two more actually.
Jesus.
So we have
Christ.
Zach and Robin again, or Zach and Robin. So we have Kittle and JT, which you gave up, I assume, right?
Yep.
And Robin received Moss, Sanders, and Waller.
Zach received.
Oh, sorry, I got it mixed up. So, Kittle's been a bust, honestly, but it sucks to give up JT. Like, were you just going for depth, pretty much?
Yeah, I need depth. I need running backs.
Kittle and JT for Zach Moss, Miles Sanders, and Darren Waller.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like in a sense I was honestly upgrading.
You're upgrading tight end. Yep.
And Moss was playing
depth.
really well.
Yeah.
And so serviceable 10 points. And then
Miles Sanders could
Sanders is still beginning 7,
and
8.
he looked good running the ball the few times against the Bucks, so that could become way better.
Yeah,
that's promising.
And I felt like it was strength at the end. I think it's what I needed, but
goddamn, dude, JT is doing the JT thing he did at the end of the season last year.
Okay, so
early.
I
so
was
that's
busy,
scary.
and you guys might have seen the game, but I looked, and it was late in the game. The man had 2 fantasy points.
No.
Next time I looked,
no, he
had
was doing
20.
good right away. That was 2 weeks ago.
So 2 weeks.
I
missed it too.
I thought he did.
No,
I thought
he
was
busted one early.
I thought that was last week when he busted the 76-yard touchdown catch last week.
He did do that last week, but okay, so the Dolphins game was the one where he started. But if I remember correctly, he was doing great instantly, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a depth move.
Yeah.
Obviously, I didn't want to see JT go, but Kittle had to go. And then I was hopeful
Hurts
that
does
I could
take all of Dalton said Hurts takes his, and he does. He takes the rushing touchdowns from Sanders.
And I hope I could flip some of these players.
Yeah, which is what you tried to do in the next one, which was CD and Waller for Kelsey, Odell, and Myers, which was Kevin and yourself in that trade. And you received Kelsey in that one, which is big. Odell looked like he had upside, and Jacoby looked like he was all right, but CD had the best game of his career, pretty much.
He was the number one scorer.
I think he had 32. So
yeah.
I'm sure you have Myers or Morse.
I think you traded the number one scoring player and the number
Robin
2
said
scoring
JT
player.
had 3 points at half. That is exactly when I checked it. I was like,
so I think
I was doing a little dance. I was like, oh yeah, I'm looking good. And the next time I look, he had like 28.
I think you traded probably 2 of the top 3 or 4 scoring probably 2 of the top 3 scoring non QBs, if not, maybe Cooper Kupp. He's the only one who got more than those 2 guys he traded away.
As they say in the business, oof.
Yeah, that one was hard. CD I like, but
I like CD.
He just was like the inconsistency of what I was expecting out of him. Man, when he came out week 1.
So I could have had. I actually talked to Mike about this. You and me had, and the only reason it didn't go through is because you didn't want to give up Evans. But I could have traded Hawkinson and Hawkinson, Sutton, and Pittman. Is that what it was?
That was one of them. Yeah, I think.
Hawkinson, Sutton, and Patterson for CD and Jonathan Taylor, and I did not do it, and I'm so upset now because I would have had 152 points. I had calculated it.
Obviously I was. Then I'm just going for depth. So obviously Dalton thinks I should have kept Waller, and I don't know, man.
No, I don't like Waller. I don't like Waller at all. And now Gruden's gone. And now Gruden's gone. And I think Gruden is weird and force-fed that ball to him. So, I don't know. That's why I picked up Kenny and Drake. Kenny and Drake had a good game last week, and I think it's because now Gruden's gone. He's not going to just force-feed one dude all the time. I think that things might change a little bit.
Where do you put Waller in your tight end rankings right now?
I'd still put him 3 or 4. I mean, him and Hawkinson. Honestly, I would take Hawkinson over Waller right now. I'm afraid of Waller.
I would still take Waller.
I would put him at 3.
I trust the Raiders more than I do the Lions.
Hawkinson, Waller, and Pitts are all very close for me. For me, it's Kelsey, easy 1, Andrews, easy 2, and then the rest.
Yep.
Those 3 guys.
I definitely have Waller at 2 still. But I think they're changeable at that point.
Make a bet? Andrews and Waller?
I'm done with the tight end bets.
Because I was very right. I was very right about Andrews.
That's fine. I mean, it is what it is. I can't be right about everything. So
Dalton said Kelsey, Waller, Andrews, Hawk, Pitts.
Kelsey, what?
Kelsey, Waller, Andrews, Hawk, Pitts.
I don't hate that list. I actually kind of agree with it at this point. Now that the season's under.
I don't hate the list either.
No, I actually
You're
agree
totally
with
allowed to put Waller over Andrews, but I believe. I mean,
I think
the
that's a
thing
fair list.
is in the past the Baltimore Ravens have had a running back and just run it, but they don't have one now. So he's got to throw, and he is every week throwing. And his number one target is still. I mean, if you're throwing all the time, your number one target's your tight end. He's getting freaking points.
Yeah, and I just real quick on the Andrews Pitts thing. I probably was wrong at this point.
But that one's so not over.
But Pitts
does look good.
Pitts is pretty much a wide receiver at this point. I feel like it was still
Agreed. But I think
reasonable.
that's usually the point of the best tight ends is they pretty much are wide receivers. Kelsey's pretty much a wide receiver.
It's a
Waller,
point.
Andrews. These guys are all pretty much
Honestly,
wide receivers.
Matt Ryan is what's hurting that bad.
And Matt Ryan doesn't like throwing
me.
touchdowns to his biggest, best touchdown targets.
It's going to change, though.
He liked throwing them to Ridley before, and now because Ridley's there and Pitts is there, he likes throwing them to Patterson.
Yep.
Thank you.
Right? So odd.
We'll see, but
all right, that's finally the end of these trades.
Hey, it's fun though. I love it.
Unless you guys want to make a live one right now.
Yeah.
Yep, live trade. We'll talk about it on air. You guys should do it.
Only real.
I feel like everyone's talking trades all the time, which I love. It's the best part of fantasy, in my opinion. So
Schultz is top 5 technically, but no, that guy's not. He's not top 5.
no, I wouldn't take Schultz over any of those people.
Jarwin keeps taking
above
Waller.
Okay.
I'll make a bet with you on that one.
Man, mine is so delayed.
Anyways,
he's just joshing us.
let's. Are we doing? What are we doing?
We're getting
next?
into the rankings now.
Rankings.
So
Number 10.
Rankings usually come later than this, boys.
put in the rankings. Who you think? What the list is?
Who do you think is coming in at number 10?
Who's number 10?
Actually, yeah. Let's. Well, we know. They know.
Yeah, they
I
know.
know who it is.
Have I scored over 100 on 1 week? I think one week.
against me.
Yeah.
Hey, congrats. Did you beat him?
Yeah.
He beat me by 4. He beat me by 4 because
honest-
CEH got 2. It came down to it. Me and Zach were pretty much tied, and I had CEH, and he had that Tyson Williams, and Tyson Williams outscored CEH.
Wow, they're coming in strong. It's like they
Zach.
all ranked me there, and they know.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we know it's Zach. He didn't have a single ranking above last this week.
Nope.
I think he's the second person now to do that this year.
Who's the other one? I like how we do. I think he's the second.
Well, I'll make sure it doesn't sound like I'm attacking him. So
Yeah. No, I take
I
it.
have been there.
I'm just kidding.
It's just the best year for me to be bad. I've been busy, but my goal is to beat Will and to stop someone
It
from
is
getting
really
the playoffs.
weird that you aren't like in the top tier because you usually are.
And
You usually are
not
right there.
only are you last, it's not even because of bad luck. I mean, you just played Logan this week. I mean,
What does that mean?
he's averaging under 100 points a game, whereas you look at Kevin, he's averaging 135.
Back, no attack. Alex started cheating. I love the live stream. It's really cool.
Yeah, live stream is fun.
Yeah.
They're gonna be long, though. But
They're gonna be
fun.
long. That's why I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's why I had to cut up. Some of
But
that
no
stuff.
one's gonna go back and watch it, really.
Yeah.
They're sitting here watching
That's
it.
true. Yeah.
If that doesn't
Except
interrupt
for
their
people
night.
that miss. Yeah.
But at number 9, we have you, Will. You know, are you guys 1-5, 1-5?
Yeah.
What it is?
And he's got me by.
I think you're only 2
10
games
points.
back though. Like you really are still in this thing. Like
Man,
you really
Kevin this week is a rough pull.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough.
Who do you got?
Everyone's hurt this week, and Kevin's still projected 136.
Well, yeah, he doesn't
he
buy
earned
this.
that though. He traded for that specifically. So that's bad luck on your end. That's all that is.
Can't wait.
Good,
Yeah,
good
can't
shit,
wait.
Kevin.
Can't wait for this week. I think my team, considering all the buys, is a strong team for this buy apocalypse, and it doesn't stand a chance. I mean, it's got a chance, but it's
Always
not
a
good.
chance, but man, we got coming in number 8, part of the bottom tier.
That's low
Yeah.
gain.
It's been this bottom tier. We've been in this bottom
Yeah,
tier.
the 3 stayed the same. So we got Logan at 8. He's won 2 in a row. He's a game out from the
He
playoffs.
got this 8,
you know?
and he passed. He got this 8, and he's staying ahead of me because he got to play Zach this week.
Probably true. Yeah, he
I hate
scored
those
90.
words. Got to play that.
Yeah, he scored 90 points.
Yeah, his team is interesting. Marvin Jones could be good for him moving forward. Might be a good plug piece, but
Could be.
we'll see with Hill and Fournette. He's made some moves, and we'll see what
I actually
happens
really-
with
yeah, I
it.
like his
so
team
I
looking at
actually
But I don't.
very
probably-
competitive. It's competitive.
Tyreek Hill is the only like true name on his team though, like in the sense of Prescott, but holy cow, he has.
He's like the only person in the league this year that's streaming quarterback. I mean, you're kind of streaming, but not.
No, he is
intentionally.
Prescott.
He's Prescott. He's Dak.
But it seems like as he didn't start. He hasn't started Dak like half.
Yeah, no, that's why he
year.
dropped Russell Wilson.
Yeah, so he could just stop the.
But he traded to get Russell Wilson at one point,
and he made the mistake.
Dak.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he gave up Mitchell in that. Right. I don't know. Anyways.
He did. He gave up Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah.
Anyways,
that was 300 trades ago.
No kidding. I think we're at like 100 trades this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Logan at 8. I think the bottom 3 were kind of consistent there. So
Hill will win it for. Was that Jordan doesn't want that? Okay, I see.
What?
Brad was saying Hill will win it for you, Logan, and Jordan is like really against it, but Jordan gets screwed by Hill a lot, so Jordan's afraid of that.
I think he dropped 50 on him last year.
Well, I think he's already. I think he's already played Hill this year, and he dropped 40. Yeah, against Hill. I think Brad had Hill drop a bunch of points on him. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But anyways, that moves us to number 7, which
it's a little interesting.
Yeah, he dropped a little bit, and I'm gonna let you take this, Zach, because you've been the hater of the year for this guy.
Well, I can't say much because I'm at the bottom of the list, but this man was reigning champ number 1. 3-4 weeks in, and now number 7, Robin.
We got Coach O in the chat.
We do.
Coach O in the chat. What's up,
Coach
man?
O.
Live?
Yeah.
No, we're not
we
live.
had to give our number
we're
1
not
fan
live. We
Coach O.
we predicted that. We're not live.
Yeah.
We are good though.
No, but yeah, Robin.
And Drake's in the chat. Oh my God.
Who?
No, I'm just kidding. Sorry. Go ahead.
Got me all nervous.
Fell hard, Robin said. Yeah, it's it is what it is. I think you've made some decent moves here with. You still have Devontae Adams. You have the win now pieces with Swift and Hawkinson, DJ Moore as well. Did I make that? No, he has Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
I love that he got him. I think Justin Jefferson, easy wide receiver 1, obviously.
I think Justin Jefferson.
A bunch of upside for his team.
There's so much to talk about this week.
I still love Robin's team, actually.
Mm-hmm.
He's gotten a little unlucky. He also hasn't had the blow up week yet. That's gonna happen. And yeah, I still love Robin's team.
Jonathan Taylor too. I mean, and if Kittle comes back with like a hint of what he could do, he could trade Kittle and get like another piece.
Oh wait, so O did get fired? That's official?
Yeah,
at the end of the season.
So he lost O and Gruden.
At the end of the season, though, it's like a lame duck situation.
He needs to do someone else. He can
do Gruden.
Robin does have an interesting schedule. I'm sure everyone has a very similar one, but it's Coleman, Will, Mike, Logan, but then he finishes it with Jordan, Brad, and Kevin. Very interesting. Very interesting. I'd have to look at other people's, but this is where it's going to start being fun to see when the top tier teams play each other to finish it out.
Unless things change, it looks like he's just got to beat Dalton.
Which would be tough.
But
in terms of
each other,
standing. So, I mean, you got to look at it that way because you and me look pretty bad and Logan looks pretty bad. So, his chances still look solid.
I mean, the league's very even right now.
He steals a couple of those games.
It's always like this.
Crazy how interchangeable positions are right now with rankings.
Because like just saying you and Logan, and even myself, we all have a chance still.
There's a will, there's a way.
Isn't that right, Will?
There's never a way for me.
Never made the best record.
Never made the playoffs last year at 6-6.
There it is.
And he missed it. I took it from him.
I missed it.
6-6, you didn't get in?
Nope.
Oof.
Yeah.
Like you sneak in.
I'm gonna do it again. I might just do it again.
All right, next on the list.
Sorry, Will.
Dalton, he moved up another spot. He's been slowly moving up.
Yeah, there you go, Dolphin.
Well earned.
The Dolphin himself has had, what, 3 wins in a row? Or is it 2? 2 in a row. But against good opponents. Against Kevin and Robin.
And big wins, big performances.
Big wins,
Team seems to be coming in form. He survived the Dalvin Cook kind of injury time.
And there was a bet in that game. And because of it, now Robin has to host a potluck.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
When are we doing that?
It better be soon because, I saw potluck is happening. Let's all go tonight.
I missed this.
All right, everyone get ready. We're going to Claybrook. Potluck.
That's what's up.
I'm bringing lasagna.
Yeah, you're bringing lasagna.
That's
nice.
leftover lasagna.
Leftover lasagna. We're not bringing fresh?
No, it's pretty old.
Dolphin has... I feel like Cook's been really disappointing this year, actually, so far.
But he won't be.
Yeah, I think he survived that. That's kind of what...
As Kevin says, that man's a sheet of glass.
but also always plays. He's scary to own and sucks to own.
And he has a
sometimes,
bye
but-
week, so get that man healthy.
And wasn't he good last week? Didn't he play?
Yeah,
I think he
good?
was decent. I mean,
I think
he's
he's-
I think he's
if he
played
plays,
3
he's
games.
good, and he plays well.
21.3.
How many games did he play?
Yeah, so he's good.
4.
4 with 1. I'm assuming he left. He had 5.4
Yeah, that was the game he
points.
left. No, it wasn't. He didn't leave, honestly, I don't think. But yeah, he's been
Great
good.
player, obviously. It's something to know. It's something to look out for with him.
We like his team. We're gonna move on to
his team.
5, who's been moving up, but somehow did drop this week.
Is he lost?
Hopkins
yeah,
has
he
been
did lose.
interesting. He's a quiet 13th overall. Very interesting.
Yeah, but my problem with him is look at Hopkins' targets. Very freaking scary. Never even had double
But in
digits.
that
double digit
offense,
targets.
I mean, they're going to score touchdowns with Kyler Murray
I know,
and
but
Hopkins.
he's kind of touchdown dependent, which is scary for Hopkins.
I
That's
mean,
I
fair.
wouldn't want him to be
Because last year he
touchdown
wasn't
dependent.
getting touchdowns.
No, I
and he
would
was
not want
getting-
him to be a touchdown. I mean, he has not gotten double digit touchdown targets. That's now he's still great, but that's
Dolph, you don't
scary.
want anymore. I'll take him.
So yeah, now number 5, right in the middle,
What?
Jordan,
The Bear.
the Bear.
What?
Why are you surprised by that?
I
Really, why?
I've been a little disconnected.
Why
I've
are
been
you surprised
busy.
by that?
Why?
Go ahead, man. Say it.
Yeah.
I can take it.
I ranked him at 4.
But you did you beat him?
I beat him straight up, yeah.
Alright.
Without Saquon, Chubb, and Ridley.
Okay. Well, obviously you guys know where my ranking stood, so
Yeah, so-
I'm just gonna. God damn it! Oh, Jordan traded his whole team, but he never puts his players in. It makes it so hard.
I know that is frustrating. Team invisible.
I get it now. That's funny. Yeah, I'm gonna let you guys talk about this. I don't agree. Actually,
So
I
you
don't
think-
agree either.
So what's the disagreement that he should be above me, even though I just beat him?
I give
Yeah.
you that.
And I have a higher record than him, and I feel like, and this is my team, obviously, so I'm gonna defend it. But I feel like my team has more potential than his team. With Eckler, Chubb, I can't even remember. Eckler,
All right, so I'm just gonna throw mine out here.
go ahead, do it.
I feel Q is below you.
What?
You have Coleman
Yes,
at 5?
I have Coleman at 5.
That's
Really?
crazy.
I have Coleman at 5.
That's crazy. Let's
He's-
move on. from
He's
that.
ranked 4.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he's tied for second, but
Oh, in the
he's in
standings?
4th place. Yeah. So I feel like with the future and what the man is riding Derrick Henry.
I mean, he just had to play Kevin.
I mean,
he dropped 140 points this week.
who?
yeah.
Coleman.
I mean,
I had Jordan at 3.
I do see why
Leaving-
I do
I'm not
see your
going into
case
detail.
for Jordan
Yeah.
because he has a ton of points for. Like it's insane. Like he's got Coleman by 40 and me by, well, I guess 50. No big deal.
I was looking at points, and I just feel like where his team's turning it on, and God, I wish he put his players in so much. He survived. I mean, he didn't survive, but Kamara.
I don't know
had
who
his
he's
bye.
played this year, but I know he's supposed to play Zach. I think he's supposed to play Logan.
Let me check it.
I think 5's appropriate.
I feel like
though.
he's
I
had
really
a tough
do.
schedule.
I mean,
I know.
Yeah, it's Logan, me, but it gets tough still. It's Brad, Kevin, then Rob and Dalt.
Mike,
Coleman.
you've played Logan, right?
yeah,
You played Zach.
yeah,
You played me.
yep. And
So
I
you've played-
played
so you've-
Jordan, and
So
then
you've played the easy. You've played a very easy schedule.
yeah,
at this
but
point.
points 4, I'm the 3rd highest.
But
God.
isn't he second highest?
Yeah, so I mean, I understand, but I literally just beat him.
No. I know you did.
That's where I'm at. I don't know how you can
Yeah.
rank me below someone I just beat, and
Well-
I have a better record.
Well, because
if
beating
you look at
someone
the
in any
teams-
other sport is different than beating someone in
Yeah,
fantasy
but if
because
you look
those
at-
players didn't go head to head against each other.
I just
Those-
don't know how you look at the teams and say his team has more potential than mine, and obviously
potential.
I'm biased.
No, his team doesn't have more potential, but his team is not a bunch of question marks right now.
I understand that with injuries and stuff, but
That's where I'm at
just-
on it.
And I always project-
I've had you ranked higher than almost anyone. almost
No.
every week.
I'm
I've
just,
actually,
it's a
was high
moot
on you
point
when
at
I
this
dropped.
point. It's a
I
moot
just like
point,
projecting more in the future because obviously I'm not going
Yeah.
by the standings, and I mean I'm just seeing a trend here, and that's kind of where I'm at. But like I said, it really wasn't you versus Jordan. It was
I
more
never took
Coleman.
it that way. That's why.
Yeah.
But I guess that this will make more sense. I'm ranked 4.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying that I was above Jordan because I think it makes sense because I just beat him. That's
Yeah.
all I was saying. So I think Coleman at 5's a little.
I don't think
I do.
Coleman's been hated on.
Coleman has not been hated on whatsoever.
Logan says he has been. I don't
No.
think he has been hated on in the past, but I think there was reasons for it. I mean, I've been hated on my entire time doing fantasy, and I think there's reasons for it.
Actually, Dan said, to be fair, the guy not even in the league, Q has had a bit of a questionable trade history. Oh, that's wonderful.
He has. I mean, it is what it is, but I mean, we've given Coleman a lot of props on this podcast. So.
Oh, Coleman's in here now.
Yeah, we've given him a lot, so we gotta
people
knock him
are
down.
Asking how the date is going. People do know he has a long-term girlfriend. He was on a double date. I don't know if we were clear on that.
Is she the one, Coleman?
It's a really important date.
His Tinder match.
Yeah, his new. Yeah.
All right, so number 4, Mike.
We'll move on from who we just talked about.
Care.
Anyways,
who's number 3?
You're my team.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Coleman, and I think that's where he belongs. I think he's at the right spot.
He did fall down too.
Yeah, but I think I know he did. He was first last week.
I think Coleman is. I think his highest he could have been was 3. I really do.
I think the fact that he was 1 last week and then dropped 140 points and dropped down 2 is kind of upset. I get where you could be upset, but also the 2 people in front of him deserve to be. And I think the person who's ranked second just really should be ranked first. I know based on some reasons that he shouldn't be, but also I mean. I think you got to take record into account, and I think he should be. But Coleman's
you can't say that when you said Jordan should be above me.
I think because the teams are so even. My problem, difference in that
it's tied. It's really funny.
No, my difference in that one is the schedule. The schedule coming up is just insane. I think Jordan gets to play all the easiest teams. I think you get to play all the hardest. I looked into that.
I'm sorry I brought it up again. We'll move on. We'll move on.
I points 4 are pretty big for me.
For me, the reason Coleman, I think, now he is where he should be, but the reason I love Coleman's team is just because Derrick Henry will never not do the things he does. That just will never not happen. And all he needs is a couple more pieces every week. Like he doesn't need very much in a week to win having Henry, in my opinion. He needs
big.
so little.
But when I'm looking, I haven't broken down the weeks, and I'm sure he's played some of us terrible players, but his points for are low, and his points against are very low. And I just think that trend changes. So where my projection is, it's more in the future. But it is, I mean, Derrick Henry, Darrell Henderson, that's almost guaranteed, like, minimum 40
I'll just
points.
read off his team real quick. It's Henry, Henderson, Cooks, McLaurin, Lockett, DJ Moore. I see 2 question marks, maybe even 3 with his Cooks, McLaurin, and Lockett at this point. And then he has Steele on the bench, which is great.
I don't see any question marks in that.
What do you
Maybe Cooks.
And McLaurin, we literally just talked about McLaurin saying he had 2 boom weeks.
I was comparing him to Mike Williams.
Okay.
The whole point was that he was completely unwilling to trade him for Mike Williams
at this point, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, but I don't think Lockett's a starter for him.
He is at the moment, but
it's a bipocalypse.
Yep, you're right. So I will agree to disagree, but I think those 3 players are question marks. Obviously,
I agree.
They're good. I don't want to say they're not good, but they are questionable at this point. Because if Tyler Heineke's throwing the ball to McLaurin, I'm worried. He doesn't look great.
Taylor,
whatever.
Exactly right. Who is it?
And then Brandon Cooks.
Who's throwing the ball to him?
Yeah, and then was it Mills?
I don't. Yeah,
Cooks big time question mark. Yeah. He keeps saying when Tyrod gets back. When has Tyrod supported a number 1 wide receiver like in his career? He never does. He had a crazy boom couple weeks. That's not just gonna fix when he comes back. It's just not.
He's got great running backs.
Russ comes back after next week. I don't think so.
But when Russ comes back, he'll be good.
Russ doesn't. They just expressed interest like yesterday in Cam Newton. So Russ is not coming back next week, Coleman. He's not coming back the week after either. He's probably not coming back the week after that either. Yeah. They say the timetable for most people is 6 weeks.
And then
they usually say 6 weeks. I know Russ is a freak, but he's not doing it in 2.
No, I think Lockett will be relevant playoff time for us.
Yeah.
That's what I think. So
wow. Okay, so I like Dan, man. It's real
Dan
man.
Is good.
He's asking McLaurin or DJ Moore rest of the year, and the whole channel wants to say McLaurin.
Are you kidding me?
DJ Moore.
No way. DJ Moore for sure. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I thought you were about to disagree. Because everyone in here is saying McLaurin. I can't believe
the chat's saying
There's
that.
a lot of McLaurins in here.
Gosh, you and Kevin are just agreeing.
Me and Kevin?
Yeah.
But we never have
DJ Moore.
It's easily DJ Moore.
Yeah,
it's not even close.
I am super shocked by 2 McLaurins in here.
DJ Moore. There's Robin saying DJ Moore.
Especially when CMC comes back, that offense gets going
I'm sorry,
better.
McLaurin's scary at this point. Like
he already is in general.
Yeah, I mean,
he has been.
Can I say? Okay, so I'll say the stat that I was talking to them about pre-show about McLaurin. He does seem great, and you seem like you want to love him. There's something about him you want to love. McLaurin has had a 22-pointer and like a 27-pointer this year. Okay? But also McLaurin's had 4 games this year under double digits. 4. He's had 2 in the double digits, which were those blow-up games, which you do want, but you want a guy who can also give you more than 2 out of 6, and also when his fall games aren't as bad as his. He's had 2 of those, and then he's had 3 8s and a 4. That's now. I'm not saying he's like a question mark in terms of like. No, he's not a question mark. Like you're starting him every week. You're never gonna worry about starting.
But it's a worry because of those 4 bust games, right?
It's a worry because of that in that aspect. Yeah, but in terms of like
a question mark on his team.
In terms of wide receivers, he's not a scary one for me. In terms of like, I want him.
Yeah, but
compared to DJ Moore, that's not close to me.
But you like kind of felt like you won the trade when you shipped off Terry.
I did win that trade. Yep.
Who'd you get again?
I got Sutton and Edmonds for McLaurin.
That's not bad. Yeah.
For McLaurin and Gibson.
Good trade. Trade by you.
Gibson is not okay.
Yeah. At the time, you got to look at the trade value at the time. Those.
I remember that was the one where I told everyone I had been offering that trade to every single person in 10 different ways. I offered that trade so freaking much. It was crazy.
I call it one of the top 3 worst trades I've ever seen. So I take that back. I think I took it back last week, but I still feel value. You could have got more value.
That's
no. I didn't give up Gibson. I gave up Miles Sanders.
Okay, so it wasn't too bad.
That's right.
That's just where I'm at on trades sometimes. Yeah. It doesn't matter what happens after the fact. It's what you could have got at the current moment.
Dalt. You say
from there,
L?
it's irrelevant.
You say L, Dalt? Miles Sanders and Terry McLaurin for Edmonds and Sutton. You think that's like a easy L? Like, I don't know, man. I gave up a guy who, since I traded him, has had 1 good week out of 4 and 3 really bad ones. And Miles Sanders. Come on.
I love that dancing. That's hilarious.
Biggest fan.
He is a big fan. But
well, we got top 2.
Sorry, top 2. Yeah.
Let's get on to it.
So number 2 was Brad. He's number 1 ranked technically right now.
5-1.
Didn't have a super strong week, and he's technically 6th in points for.
Yes.
Against.
But
not technically.
Or 4. Is it 4?
4. Yeah, he's 6th.
What he scores, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
This last 2 weeks have hurt him a little bit though. But also
he's making Zach trades, but I think he's doing a lot.
Yeah.
Doing a lot.
Now, does he still have to play Kevin? Or has he played Kevin? I think he probably
I don't know, honestly. I'd have to look at this.
Have you played Brad, Zach?
I can't remember.
I play him this week.
Yeah, Brad is so lucky getting
week 1. I should have beat him.
Brad is so lucky getting to play you this week. Well, and you're lucky getting to play Brad. You guys, man, that's a weird one.
He plays Mike, Logan, Jordan, me, Kevin, Robin, Dalt.
That's pretty tough.
Psych. We were just kidding, everyone. Kevin is actually 2nd, and Brad is 1st on the list. Sorry, Kevin. Kevin thought it was his number 1 ranking. His first ever number 1 ranking.
That's
Kevin
not his first
Kevin
ever.
is 1.
But why is it? Oh, first ever this
I just wanted
year.
to piss Kevin off, and you ruined it.
I was so confused.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's still
Brad. Sorry. I was like,
I think you meant this year, Zach.
Okay, I mean, like, come on, don't
because we know last year he was first a lot.
Yeah, he was.
But Brad should have been first more.
We
last
like
year.
Brad's
Kevin
team.
should have been more first this year.
I think we all agree we like Brad's team. Whether or not we agree with the trade,
is this team not question marks though?
Oh,
CMC.
No. It does have
Knox,
question marks.
Damian Williams, and David
No, those
Montgomery.
aren't question marks. They are not playing 100%.
But also,
on this
but when you're 5-1, this is like with Zach in the past, although even better because when you're 5-1 and have CMC coming back, you don't have he's making the playoffs. Brad's gonna make it, barring some crazy shit.
Yeah,
and when CMC comes back,
wild shit.
CMC will be back for the playoffs. So that's I'm taking that into account, and that's big.
I was told CMC was coming back for the playoffs last year too.
And Knox, I think, is actually incredibly good. And that's not even a matter because it doesn't even matter because he's got Pitts. So Knox is pointless on that.
Yeah, well, Knox also broke his hand. So
I mean, it doesn't even matter though. So
it's gonna get bumpy for him. It's interesting.
It probably will, but he's gonna make the playoffs. And the fact that we like his team as much as we do, even if we don't love it right now, and he's still got CMC coming back and Montgomery coming back.
But Mike Williams is gonna get hurt, and Brad's not making the playoffs. That's my prediction.
Just remember, Montgomery, but if he doesn't he doesn't make playoffs.
Montgomery is great.
If he makes playoffs, he'll have Montgomery and CMC on top of his roster that we already like.
With Zeke now, too.
With Zeke and Mike Williams. I mean, his team looks very freaking good.
He can't afford an actual injury to someone. No.
Personally, I ranked Brad first. I think I'm one of the few, but I ranked Brad first.
Old Zach.
Yeah, so Kevin's 1. I think it's Honestly, I think Kevin deserves to be 1 too.
Absolutely
I ranked him
deserves it.
1.
Yep, me too.
Brad 2. Kevin's got some depth. His only issue is his RB2
Getting a lot of points.
And that was Hunt.
Yeah, exactly. So
Man,
Hunt's down. I don't know what he's gonna do.
That man let him down though because he said, "I want Hunt to be my running back," and he did the opposite of what he did.
I'm curious if he trades for an RB2 or if he just rolls with the team.
I'd
be really curious.
I think he trades for a running back at some point. He's got enough wide receivers.
I bet he does too.
He's got so many wide receivers.
Well, I bet he does because that's just what that guy does.
Could
But
probably be me and him.
he's got the San Francisco,
I do like DK.
but he does have he's got 5 wide receivers now.
That's what I'm saying. He'll
You
probably
do have a lot
trade.
of Niners, Kevin. You got too many Niners. That actually is scary.
I bet he tried to trade
Now I think about it, that's good for me.
running backs and
Because he's got, that's
yeah.
kind of good for me. So I don't think the Niners are a big scoring offense anyway, and he's got Debo and Elijah. I don't think both can pop off. I mean, it's possible, but
I mean, Kevin's team has been unreal. Like, let's be honest.
yeah. So I mean, I'm sure. I think everyone probably saw, but in the chat I put the 2020 Brad versus 2021 Kevin, and it was incredibly close. They'd be 3-3 versus each other, and they're less than 10 points apart. So I mean, and
there was a 70
we all know
point,
how.
That's wild.
It's
The thing is, though, is when Brad did that last year, the amount of like he's unbeatable. This is the best thing I've ever seen. Was crazy. Whereas Kevin is just now getting his first ever number 1 ranking.
Here's his wide receivers: DK, Cooper Kupp, Debo, Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, all in the top 10. All in the top 10.
I think they're all in the top 8.
Top 8, maybe. I mean, the top 10.
I showed that
sounds
picture.
better than-
All of his positions, including like 4 of his bench, are in the top 10. Like
Yeah.
it's actually stupid.
Which it's not going to continue, so don't enjoy it too much, Kevin.
Even if it doesn't continue for all of them, he's still got backup options at the moment. Although he just lost Hunt, so
He lost
maybe
Hunt,
that
which
gets
hurts.
worse. We'll see.
Yeah, he is hurting at running back, but
Yeah, he's going to
All right. Well, that was the rankings
Will?
for this week.
anyone.
good job, Kevin. Up 2 spots, well deserved.
It's time to finally get into the episode title.
Mid-season awards.
Mm-hmm. And then we'll close it up with match.
Our best episode every year. Last year was our last episode. Fun fact.
That segment was missed.
I don't want to forget about
And
it.
before we do that, I'm gonna go pee.
Whoa, we're live, man.
I got to go pee too.
Yeah.
We are live,
Usually
guys.
we get a break midway through.
No.
That's fine, though.
Can you put up the logo?
Just talk,
like
distract them.
Put like
have fun.
intermission
I
out.
do want
Do
to.
intermission song, whistle it or something.
I can't whistle.
Zach, I gotta go pee.
I
Ask us any questions. You guys got any questions for me and Zach at the moment?
it's delayed.
It's a 30-second delay, so we'll have to talk here for 30 seconds. Just act like.
Just act, and they're gonna still get this. and then we'll be
So
caught up.
by the way, this is a good time to say this. Saturday, everyone come out. We're going downtown, getting booze, celebrate Brad's birthday. Kind of.
Oh, it's for Brad's birthday.
Not really.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
I'll go.
let's all booze though. That man already got a cruise. Who's Matt? Oh, that's Miranda. Miranda.
Marmac.
You guys are chilling. Don't worry. How does it feel to be 6'3"?
He's never the tallest guy in the room.
I'm 6'4", man. Get out of here.
He's poking
I
your
couldn't be a
buttons.
bigger fan of the live stream though. So fun. It really is fun. We're doing this every time.
All right, go pee.
Yeah.
Hurry. You got 30 seconds. They'll never know you're gone.
Guys, tell us your least favorite thing about Mike. And be brutal. Don't hold back, but be real.
Brad, it's your
Really
birthday.
insult him. Yeah, Brad, this is your chance. And yeah, we like fantasy football. And Zach, your glasses look cool. You look like Harry Potter.
Yeah, are you being Harry Potter for Halloween?
No, we have me and Miranda are trying to pick out a costume thing for a party that we're going to, and we haven't figured out what it's gonna be yet. Well, we keep going back to ghosts.
Nuh-uh.
This is really easy.
But I've never known anyone to like actually go as a ghost.
Let's go put sheets on our head and use those ghosts.
Please send me a picture if you guys do that. That's hilarious.
We haven't decided yet.
Uh,
All right, everybody. He's back. Thank you for all. We had a good talk while he was gone. It was great.
that's what it's like being 6'3.5".
Hermione?
It is.
Hermione.
Oh,
You're dressed
all
up
you
as Hermione?
mofos. I am 6'4". Don't let Dan tell you anything different. Pacers lost.
Is the guy hurt?
No. It's not a regular season game, was it? Is the NBA
It started yesterday.
Oh.
Logan, don't give away your best costume idea. You keep that. That's good.
What is it?
Kobe and Shaq with the trophies.
Dude, that is
It's great.
cool. I
Yeah,
love it.
don't share that, man.
Dolls,
love it.
I'm getting over a cold. It's not the vape, although that might not be helping, but getting over a cold. There's just a bunch of stuff
Stop
draining.
Butters.
He's
butter
the
better.
vape god, man. Don't you know?
What's my
the
title?
ruler of O's.
Yeah, it's a long title. Dalton
Something
or
like that.
Dan made it. All right, let's get into these rankings.
We are
These
into the awards. We kind of.
Rankings. That's usually what we end on.
Yeah.
So I just want to acknowledge
Biggest
two
pussy.
great waiver pickups of the year. I didn't tell you I was doing this.
Oh.
Mike Williams and Cordell Patterson by the man over there on the left. I have to
Hey,
give you
thanks,
credit where
man.
credit is due.
Thanks, man.
Wow.
Elite
Thanks, man.
waiver pickups. So
I
just wanted to
appreciate
mention
that.
that before we got into it. I think those are the best waiver pickups of the year.
It might be the only positive thing that happens to me during this award show. So thank you very much.
That's why it started off with.
I'm very hopeful for this Herbert guy for the Bears. I have a good feeling about it.
He could be good too. So you're the waiver god. So
Did you? I mean, like, oh my gosh.
Because Herbert outtouched Williams the week before when Williams was supposed to take over.
Can you imagine one of those other teams, like one of the teams that haven't had issues,
Getting
like
one
would
of
have
those
had
guys,
them?
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Thank God.
but
Yeah.
Well,
part of this
Kevin
award-
drafted Williams and dropped him.
Part of this award show, we're going to be giving out best draft picks, worst draft picks, and then just awards for themselves. So I think we're going to start off with the best. Start off on a good note
We're going to
here.
start off on a good note and then just bring him down.
Yeah, let's
Just
bring him down. Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
shoot him
yeah.
down afterwards.
So-
Fuck yeah, let's do it.
Our best QB pick of the year so far is Jalen Hurts.
You said not getting love. You're gonna get love.
Yeah.
You did some good stuff.
That was actually my last
Will
one for
took
sure.
him-
Okay. Those
Will
are the
took
three.
him-
The three
Yeah,
guys.
that
The
was
three
it.
guys
I
carrying
wish I
your
would have
team.
started off with my one last good thing. There it goes. All three all at once.
We're done talking about
now
Will.
now we're
Nice.
shitting on me the rest of the night.
Yeah, well, we're still gonna talk about you.
Yeah, we'll shit on me for a while.
Will, can you say your stat for us that you told us before the show about Jalen Hurts?
So Jalen Hurts
Pretty amazing.
is I want to say it's between 2002 and 2000, but it's for a very long since before maybe some of us were born. No, maybe not. No, Brad's when was Brad born?
1997.
Okay, so no.
We're all old.
Well, my girlfriend was born really like
Oh my
2000,
gosh. I can't
so I
believe
get
you're just
confused
like,
on
well, I
dates.
think around like 2000.
Around like
Oh,
2000,
no.
the stat
Oh,
was
my
the Fantasy Football Focus put out. I think it was yesterday. Jalen Hurts is the first quarterback since then to be a QB1 the first 6 weeks of the season, and even further back than that, I think it's in the 90s to be over 20 fantasy points for the first 6 weeks of a season.
He's been a QB1 for the last
And he's
every week this year.
He's the
so far.
only
Crazy.
He's the only QB. I don't think there's any other. I think I saw that the stat was, and maybe Kyler Murray is, but I think that there's no other QBs that have even been a QB1 for 5 weeks this year.
Kevin.
He asked if you wrote the script.
Oh, I love that. I'm sorry.
That's so funny.
I think if there's one other one, maybe one other person has been a QB1 for 5 weeks. Other than that, the rest are all 4.
That's what
now
shocks me
there's
most.
big week games. His biggest week is only 28, but he's also never had under 20.
I do want to add this. I want to see who people think in each position has the best draft pick and worst draft pick. So who had the best QB pick, do you guys think? Do you agree with us that it's Hurts, or do you think it's someone else?
Yeah,
Now,
so
let's do that for each
while
one
we're
and
on
see what it
QBs,
is.
talk about that while we do them. Yeah.
Yeah, so we think it's Hurts. If you guys think it's someone different, let us
Well,
know. Honorable
we had some
mentions.
honorable mentions, yeah.
we had Tom Brady, which
Now-
was taking the 12th, which that's a great
Now
value
Tom
pick.
Brady almost better. I can't get it in my head to believe that Tom Brady stays as like man, it's tough because he doesn't have that running baseline. Is my
Yeah.
problem with Brady.
It's just so hard because like
See, when we talked about this, I'm sorry, Zach. But
well,
really
I'm just
quick.
saying it's hard to still value because like QB's dropped hard. This is the first year they've ever done that, so it's like seeing where it is. So I would still vote on Hurts being the outlier because
too.
you kind of expected it from Brady, but like Hurts is like surpassed what it was.
Well, and you know you're getting
And you
you're getting
stood
the
by
rush,
him.
and you know you're getting the rush in with
Yes.
Hurts. But when we did this, I don't remember. I thought we had not agreed on Hurts being the best, and I would have. I mean, as much as I love having at least one more good thing for me, I would have taken Brady as like the biggest, like the best draft pick for where you got him because you got Brady in the 12th and I got Ertz in the
Now,
10th.
don't get me wrong.
I got Ertz.
You
Hurts
could
in
have
the
got him
10th.
a lot later.
I got him in the 10th.
100%.
None of the people I picked after that were worth anything anyway. I mean, they were Ruggs, Parker, Gesicki, Los Angeles, Ingram. So
Hey.
it's not like it mattered.
But it was a good pick. Let's move on. We got another honorable mention that was Kyler Murray,
yeah.
obviously.
And Kyler Murray
Josh
obviously
Allen's
went a
number
lot
one right now.
earlier than that. But, I mean, the fact... Now, remember, everybody, when I said pre-draft that I said Kyler Murray was going to be the number one. And everyone was like, no, it's Mahomes, and I got crap for that.
He's not the one though.
He's 4
But
right
he,
now, but
but
I
he
like Kyler.
is the one. He
No, he's
is
not.
the one.
Josh Allen's got that, man.
Okay, maybe Josh Allen.
Josh Allen's a
He's
beast,
number
man.
four.
But Murray doesn't
Good
have
pick.
his.
You didn't like that, but you liking that?
We're rolling with it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Murray. The way how easy it is for Murray right now.
It's really easy.
He will not stop. There's no chance of bad games for Murray. I don't think
Oh,
that one
it
bad
happened
game was
last
weird.
year.
but-
It did happen last year.
So yeah, I guess that brings us to our next position, right? Or-
Do we want to
sorry.
stay best, or do we want to go right
Yeah,
to
let's do
worst?
that. We'll
Let's
go to worst
compare.
now. Yeah, I like it.
So yeah.
take it away,
And remember when we do positions, tell us you think what the best and worst are each time we
did.
do them. But quarterback, it's a little hard to do. Bad.
Brady
but
kind of got the outlying votes.
there is a fun one for
and Bard.
There is a fun one for worst
Yeah.
QB.
I'm curious how this is gonna go over.
And I guess I'll talk about quite a decent
I'll
amount here.
chime in
Okay,
too.
Mike's got some stuff to say about it, and this is going to come surprisingly, but
No.
it's the same way that we have seen it. Now, Russell Wilson doesn't count as a worst because it was a second QB. And injuries we are not involving in this
Yeah, 'cause
part
that's
of
just
the
bad
thing.
luck.
Yeah, injury does not mean you drafted a bad player.
So our worst draft pick for QB is
7th round.
7th round,
Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert, and I'm curious how everybody reacts to that.
Now, everyone in this chat knows Justin Herbert's an incredible quarterback
Yes.
and a guy who just 2 weeks ago dropped 42 points. But did you know that
No,
when he
teach
took
us.
that
Teach
when he
us.
took Justin Herbert, he could have had Kyler Murray.
And who else?
Well, I mean, he could have had
Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
he could have Jalen Hurts. He could have Brady.
Tom Brady.
But the fact remains, because how crazy it was, we all know Herbert could have gone a lot later. And yeah, same thing for Hurts. But when I took Hurts, there wasn't people that were really that relevant after. And
Right.
the talk about Hurts was people were going to take him. No one was talking about Herbert being taken as early as he was taken. Now, yes, Herbert's had 2 really good weeks, but the guy's had some really bad weeks. In fact,
Yes.
more bad weeks than good weeks. Which is weird. It seems weird considering how lit that offense is, but it's just facts. The guy
Just
is not.
facts.
In fact, I would go as far to say that Hurts has been the reason that Coleman's record isn't even better. Sorry,
You're good. You're good.
Herbert's record isn't even better. I mean, Hurts has lost Coleman weeks. In fact, Herbert lost him this week. Sorry.
Yeah,
Herbert
and
lost him this week.
my main takeaway is it's just too. 7th round was too early to take Herbert. It really was. He could have had Kyler Murray over Herbert, and it's. I think it's the only one that sticks out to us. I mean, I know Herbert probably will do well the rest of the season, but
Herbert wouldn't have gone until round 11 if he didn't take him. He took him at 7.
yeah,
And there's a lot of valuable picks in that time.
there is, and like it was the 4th quarterback taken off the board. It's like
I think that's where it's.
I
He
just
shows
don't agree with the
brilliance,
pick.
and Herbert looks incredible. Like as a quarterback, he looks freaking incredible. But it's not working out for how early he went. I mean, he's
Here's what
had
I'll say
2
for Coleman.
boomy and busty weeks.
He's got the wins during this, so Herbert's going to find
But
form.
I think he'd have more. That's what I'm saying. I think his
okay.
team is really freaking good. He
But
would have
that's
won
where
this
it is.
week if
Yeah.
Herbert was even an okay quarterback.
Oh, yeah. That's
but he
where
got
it is.
11, and he lost by what, like 12? He got 144 points, and his quarterback
Yeah.
got him 11.
Oh, that's
does
our
it.
spiel on Herbert.
There's an honorable
I
mention
just-
there, though, kind of a similar situation.
Yeah,
Someone went for a stack.
yeah,
Someone went
and
for,
I'm curious if he agrees with this a little bit, but Lamar Jackson, I mean, he won you, Dalton, that Monday night miracle, but
It's kind of the same thing.
I don't think he's been
Literally
incredible
is.
for being the
Literally
third
is.
quarterback off the
Yeah.
board.
If you take away a 40, and I think you and me talked about this, Mike. What we like about Hurts, one of the things we like about him is he hasn't had bad games.
yeah, it's just been
consistency.
20 or above every time, and I like the consistency.
And I
Right.
have Jackson in another league, and I will tell you, it's been so maddening.
It's just too volatile
It's been
for me.
so maddening.
especially out of a QB. Like, the one thing you
need
expect out of a
consistency from the
QB
QB.
is consistency. You
And-
want that 20-point
Now, the thing
guarantee.
with Jackson is, I mean, he's a rushing quarterback. I think that it's a lower chance of him having a bad game than
Yeah.
Herbert. But, yeah, you're right. Okay. But, yeah.
So, and then, yeah. So those are our
It's
two
hard with
notable worst
QBs,
picks.
yeah.
So,
And neither of them are bad.
Yeah.
Again, that's one we should say. Neither of those are bad. But that we had to give something for QB, so that was what we had.
Yeah.
so that brings us to our best running back pick, which
Running backs, boys. Come on, give me something.
They all went so early, so it doesn't, they're good, but they were hard to find value because they went early. But
So name us our honorable mentions first.
we have Henderson and Fournette.
oh, okay.
Henderson and
Henderson
Fournette.
at 4th, round, and then Fournette in the 9th, which Fournette's looking great.
Yep.
These are more value picks. Obviously with the best.
Well,
pick.
Henderson actually is great. Henderson actually is like really, really, really.
Yeah, he's
good
great,
for
but
four.
like what I was basically saying, he's not better than Henry. Basically,
No,
is what I'm
obviously,
saying there.
but he's so good for that late. And then Fournette, it sure seems like he could be really, really good. And 9th for a running back is a big thing.
Yeah, especially with how they went this year.
Yeah.
Our best draft pick was Swift at in the 4th round. Brad took him. What happened?
Thanks, Kevin. Sorry, Mike. Who was it? Who was first? Swift. Yep. So Brad got Swift in the 4th. Same round.
That was a good pick.
Wait, it wasn't Swift that we gave first, was it?
Yeah.
Over Henderson?
Yeah.
That's what I was just kind of looking at.
That's not right. I thought we took Swift off the
Swift
list.
is higher than
But Swift is,
Henderson right now.
But Henderson was injured and missed a game.
I mean,
I
I'm
would
gonna stand by Swift, but that's fine.
okay.
I would take Henderson personally, but
That one's it's a toss up.
they're both very, very,
Yeah.
very good for how late they were drafted.
The chat's mentioned James Robinson. He just got drafted kind of early this year.
James Robinson was he was on the we replaced him with Fournette on our honorable mentions, but he's so close. He was just drafted in the 3rd round. I mean, that's higher than all these other guys.
And he went higher than like David Montgomery and Josh Jacobs, people you didn't expect, but obviously it lost his value that he could have had. But great pickup by Jordan. So.
Yeah, definitely honorable mention.
So the worst.
Yep, and then you can take this. Will go ahead.
I'm okay.
Well, who is? I don't know if you want to call it a 1st round pick or a 2nd round pick.
It was a
or
second,
like
but it doesn't matter.
11th
In terms
person
of
picked
he
overall.
went in the top 11. Yeah.
Yeah. So like if you were to compare him
What-
to a wide receiver,
It was early in the draft process, and all our sheets were still alphabetical order, and I knew the 2 people I wanted. And Clyde comes up first, so I pulled Clyde's name out because I was still looking for Gibson. But yeah, I mean, technically,
11th overall. We'll
he
take
still
it. I'm
went in
fine
the
with
top
that.
12.
Yeah.
So it's CEH. I don't know.
It's
Mention
CEH.
that.
Now the thing is, though, is CEH was really bad the first 2 weeks. Then his last 3 weeks.
Because he owns him again.
This is
Well,
so
no,
funny.
the last 3 weeks he actually was really good. Like he actually was.
Yeah, Mike knows.
So now
he was good for 2 weeks.
It was
he was amazing for 2 weeks.
It was still way too high for him, but he actually was a very good running back, surprisingly, which I still hate. I hate him.
Kevin just said the most savage comment I've ever seen.
Oh my
He said,
gosh.
Connor Gibson, it's actually kind of impressive missing on both first and second.
Hey, you traded for Gibson. You wanted Gibson. Gibson has been a big trade tool. And
I can't be watching this chat.
Gibson's-
This is Kevin versus Will
Gibson's
right
been
now.
fine.
That's
Gibson's been fine. It's just now all of a sudden, like with the shin thing, nobody wants Gibson.
We didn't have Gibson on the list because I actually don't think it was that bad of a pick.
No.
I don't think Zach does either. So.
No.
But we do have Sanders on the list, which you guys mentioned. Which
Yes.
taken in the fourth
Fourth
round.
round.
Which I think you're kind of feeling that a
Hey,
little bit right
Kevin,
now.
that's you, bitch. Guess who's been way worse than both of those 2 picks? Sanders.
I can hear
In
the
fact,
anger.
I think Edwards-Helaire has more points than Sanders still. And Edwards-Helaire has been freaking horrible.
Yeah, but he probably flipped him for I don't even know.
And
I'm sure he did, but still.
Yeah.
This next one is another honorable, and it's up there too. It's Gaskin in the 6th round. He's droppable at this point. I don't think anybody can argue with that. So
Yeah, Gaskin has a good chance of being. Yeah, man.
he's up there. So
He's droppable.
all right, so let's get back to the positives though with the wide receivers here.
Man, what a great position.
Yeah.
Are we?
What a great position.
What a great position.
They don't get much better than the
I
wide
had a
receiver.
good running back.
Man, script. Line.
Just struggling. Well, Mike Williams is an honorable mention just to give Will another moment.
Well, this isn't a moment for me. It's a moment for Kevin. Although, I mean, Kevin did drop him.
Oh, that's right. You didn't draft
Which I don't know why he dropped him, but he
Yeah.
did drop him. But
God.
the reason that
Can we
he's
talk about Kevin being
now
an idiot?
here's the thing: Mike Williams would easily be 1 on this list. He'd dominate number 1
yeah.
because he was drafted as
Yeah,
a
that's true.
worthless pick.
Value-wise, yeah.
But
13th.
because he was dropped by the person who drafted him. We're not putting him there because it's just weird. However, the fact
Honorable mention.
that Kevin at least saw something enough to draft him, he gets that spot.
Kevin's the
to
wide
you.
receiver whisperer.
Yeah, he has been. So Kevin's in another one of these.
Debo in the 8th.
Debo in the 8th.
He didn't take our main man,
He didn't.
Jamar Chase.
But he has
Well,
it now.
did we give Chase one, or did we give? I thought we gave it to.
We put 4 in this one, so it's honorable mentions are Chase, Debo, and Mike
Okay,
Williams.
hold on. Can we just have an honest moment about
I'm
this
with
wide
that.
receiver?
Sure,
group?
I'm with that.
This whole list is Kevin. This whole list
Right now?
is Kevin.
Currently?
And a combination
Ah.
of things, it's all Kevin.
Okay. Oh wow. Well,
It is what it is.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well, no, not. Well, Mike. Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
At some point, yeah, interesting.
So he owns 3 of them, and he drafted the other. Number 1, Cooper Kupp in the 5th round. This is Kevin's team.
So they're saying
insane.
Chase.
I do wanna say
Chase,
I
yes.
drafted him.
Debo another good
did.
one. Cooper Kupp.
You sold high, right?
Always do.
So there's one I
Yeah.
don't see anybody in the chat talking about that I did really want to add to the list that they didn't want to add, and that's DJ Moore, who was drafted right before Cooper Kupp,
But you
which is what
can't-
hurts him.
Yeah, you can't put DJ Moore over Kupp,
No,
Debo,
I agree.
or Mike Williams.
But he has been
or Chase
so,
actually.
No,
even.
you're right.
Yeah,
but he
yeah.
has been so
Very
good.
honorable mention
For a
for
Very
sure.
sixth round
surprising,
pick.
especially when people expect Robbie Anderson.
Yeah,
to
that's why he
produce
dropped
and
as low as he
things,
did.
So
Yep.
I give it, but yeah, it's too hard because you do the Debo, Ayuk, you do all that else, and DJ Moore gets dissolved in that conversation. But we had Kevin owning good wide receivers. Let's turn to some bad wide receivers.
Come on, guys. I need to see
Mwah,
some
mwah.
bad ones. Let's see how close you guys are on this one, because this one's interesting. There's one. You guys need to get the worst one because it's so clear and obvious who the worst wide receiver is that was drafted and where he was drafted. But we'll get to him after we get to these honorable mentions.
And they've mentioned him.
They did. Yeah, they did.
They've mentioned.
Oh.
They,
it.
yep,
Oh,
they got a couple.
Robert Woods.
Ridley's on there.
Really?
Here we go.
No, I'm with Ridley. I wanted Ridley on the list. For being drafted in the 2nd round, he's been bad.
Ship that guy off. Man, my team would have been just as
He's
bad
never
had I not
scored.
traded.
He's never scored 20.
It is not really.
He's never scored 20.
Sorry. He's missed 2 weeks and he's scored double digits.
He
I think,
was
every
he
week.
was he was
Yeah,
a,
like
he was in the,
eight,
he was
I
in
think,
the
but still,
he was
yeah.
he was a wide receiver 3 though after 4 weeks. I mean that's not.
I
that's
completely
disappointing.
disagree with that. It's not more than the other names they mentioned.
It's not
in
more
there.
than the other
Yes,
names, but
yeah, it's crazy.
But
to me.
I don't have any problem with people like saying
I do. I got a problem with that.
Kevin says AJ Brown.
Julio
'cause he
doesn't
just
count
hates-
because of injuries. AJ Brown doesn't count because of injuries.
Well, he could have, but AJ Brown. Kevin just doesn't like drafting AJ Brown yet. He does it every year.
AJ Brown doesn't count because of injuries though. He missed 3 weeks.
Did he really?
He missed 2 weeks and got injured at the beginning of one.
Okay, I guess that was.
So yeah, Rob is first. So I guess they guessed that they knew. He was drafted in the 3rd round.
Logan's the one that said that because he drafted.
I
him.
would have picked him too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think everyone was high on it.
Was Ayuk on that list? I think he was, right?
Ayuk is an honorable mention,
Yeah.
and I don't know if this guy got mentioned, but Robbie Anderson is the biggest dud I've ever seen.
Oh wow, yeah, we didn't mention him. He
They're
was
all
drafted
my
in the 7th.
team. Those all 3 are on my team. Just so you guys
All
know.
3 are on Zach's team.
Yeah.
So previously, Kevin had all those number 1s, and Zach has all those last. And guess
Yep.
what? Kevin's ranked number 1, and Zach's ranked last.
Wow. Go get you some good wide receivers, apparently.
And then let's go back to the positive here with the tight ends, our last
Does
position.
Cortland Sutton get any love for where he was drafted? I did look at him and think a little
Not
bit of
over
that,
those other guys.
but no,
You
not even
have
close.
Debo. You have Debo.
He was drafted. He was drafted in the 8th. I mean, and he has had bad weeks. So Cortland Sutton, no. But I do love me some Cortland Sutton. He's on my team. He's gonna help me beat Kevin this week. I hope.
Good. That's a good honorable mention. I actually missed it. Wouldn't even thought of it, but I just Debo
Debo in the same
Well,
round.
Cooks
You can't do
and
it.
Cooks by Coleman, who drafted Sutton. Cooks went 1 round after him and has been just
The other good
so.
honorable mention is Marvin Jones in the 12th.
Well, actually, Marvin Jones has been really bad.
Yeah, he's had like
He's had a couple
2
off
boom
games.
weeks.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right, let's move on to some. Do we have tight ends?
We do have tight ends.
Well,
and
Emmanuel
it's-
Sanders in the 15th.
Oh,
Oh,
Brad.
we did not mention that.
Emmanuel Sanders in the 15th.
that's a good honorable mention.
That was
for
literally at the
best.
bottom of the list. It couldn't
That
even
is a
be
good
seen.
one. Okay.
Yeah.
That is a good one.
Yeah.
Good point.
I think it's harder with the absolute last pick, and that's
It's
another
just-
reason it's hard with Mike Williams because you're just kind of taking someone for no
Yeah,
reason.
you
at
hope
that
for
point.
something. You
Yeah.
usually drop them or whatever. Actually, was Emmanuel dropped once?
No.
I don't know.
I
No,
think Brad kept trying to trade him.
It's because Brad got Tyreek for him one year, so that's even what he said when he went up to go make that trade.
Yeah,
or
it's a
that
good
pick.
pickup.
Yeah.
Brad was trying really hard to ship him off.
But let's move on to our tight ends here. Our best one here.
He hasn't missed any games,
That
Dalt.
pains me.
Sutton's played every game this year, unfortunately. No, yeah, Sutton's played every. Dalton said that Sutton's missed a couple games. He hasn't missed any games.
It's
It's
Judy
just
that's missed.
now
a
the
lot,
problem
yeah.
is he had a game where they played the Jets and they didn't throw the ball at all, and then he had a game where the quarterback Bridgewater got hurt and they had to use the other guy, Locke. So that's what happened.
Kevin, it is not Kelsey for best tight end pick.
Although he was
Sorry.
talked about.
He did fall.
He was
I'm sorry, he
about.
hasn't been that great, honestly, for where you got him at.
No, and the
In the
reason
top
why, and the reason that there's not really a lot of tight ends. It's hard to do it. So did we only come up with one name with the tight ends?
Just one name.
Yeah.
One.
So the
One
reason
name
why
clear.
he wasn't was because of the guy That's number one.
I can just hear Kevin saying, huh.
Nah, Kevin knows.
No, yeah, I think he's being dead serious.
Nah, you guys know the number one tight
said
end.
it's Kelsey.
Where it was
Kevin says
but
Kelsey.
he did say what? Guys, you guys know.
Cox.
Guys, you guys know who number one tight end based off value in the draft, who it is. This person right now is 4 points behind Kelsey in fantasy.
Was our honorable mention. Dawson Knox was not drafted.
Yep.
So a lot of them that are doing well are not drafted.
Kelsey was a second-round pick.
I can't believe this name isn't brought up. There's a name that's big on this podcast. He's a big name on this podcast.
Just said Dawson Knox. The clear-cut winner was Andrews in the 7th.
I actually wouldn't anymore, Kevin. He hasn't been great. But yeah, Andrews in the 7th.
Thank you.
Yep.
Nope, not Hawk.
Andrews in the 7th round, and he's 4 points behind Travis Kelsey. So now I'm not saying he's going to finish that close to Kelsey, but he has the volume. Volume is there.
And boom games to go with it.
And boom games. And he had 2 bad games to start since then, not a single one. So he looks so good. Whether or not you don't have him in the top 3 like I do, getting him as late as you got him. I mean, he went after Kyle Pitts, a whole round after Kyle Pitts did. I mean, he went after George Kittle and Darren Waller.
Not crazy.
He went after Kittle. That's crazy.
What? You do this every night.
It's
easy to say
no.
now.
It's crazy now.
Okay,
That's the
okay.
point. That's what we're doing this for.
Okay,
is
I got
now.
you. Okay. I was like, at the time it wasn't.
No, at the time it was not. No.
I mean, people
well,
had
I mean,
Kittle
for
going
me personally, for me,
way
but
earlier.
you know that because that's why I have the bet, and I'm getting a free Andrews jersey at the end of the year.
That's just. I'm sorry.
We'll see. It's not over yet.
Jersey.
I know. Please
You're
give me the
gonna
white one.
support it.
I don't want the purple one.
Here, I'll get you
Don't they have
another.
black?
Let me get you
Or
another.
black. Yeah.
I'll tell you what. If you win, I will get you another jersey besides
Oh,
Hawkinson.
I don't want. Yeah. Okay.
Andrews,
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even want you
It's
to
for
wear
a jersey. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Andrews, but the Ravens jerseys are ugly as shit.
Yeah.
I think they're cool, but Andrews.
So
is annoying.
we kind of mentioned the worst draft, and these are obviously not very exciting because tight ends, a lot of them are streamed, picked up.
Yeah.
But one was drafted as a second, but actually was drafted by Kevin to kind of take away from people, and that was Robert Tonyan, who's sitting on the waiver and pretty much non-existent.
He's been a dud.
Complete dud. Even on Bipocalypse is not even being picked up.
Yeah, no one's taking him, and
Yeah.
people are in need of tight ends, and
Yeah.
nobody was trying to get him. And he's the highest. I don't know. He's projected 7, and that's too high. It's way
Yeah.
too high.
It just isn't
It
getting the
is.
ball,
He's
but
not good.
I think our worst one.
So I just want
It's
to.
kind of injury based though. At the same
Yeah,
time,
because we did say no injury, but it's hard to pick on tight end.
it's hard not to pick
Yeah.
this man, and it's George Kittle. I mean, he's been.
Oh, I didn't know we went with that. Okay.
I think
Yeah.
he's been disappointed.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
when he wasn't injured, he was still bad.
He was doing bad.
It wasn't
so.
what you expected. That's a
wasn't what you
high value
expected,
pick. So
That's it for those, right? For the position.
that's
Yeah,
Is that
that's
it
it
for-
for the draft.
Good,
pick.
yeah, for
God,
the
I
draft.
can't talk.
So-
Blah.
we did overall on who we think was the worst team drafter and who was the best team drafter. So
It kind of went back and forth.
We have a
on the
few
worst.
more awards here, guys, so we're almost done too.
Yeah, a couple
That's
more.
why.
this will never end.
Waller is disappointing, Kevin. I agree. The worst was kind of between the two of us next to each other here, me and Zach. As much as I'm wanting and willing to shit on myself because I feel better doing it than bragging when I'm doing so bad, in this case, I just, after Zach's first few rounds, and in those rounds, obviously he got McCaffrey, who, that unfortunate. He got Gus Edwards.
These do.
That's
include
unfortunate.
injuries,
Yeah, these
so.
do, yeah. He got Metcalf, who that's going to hurt him now. He
Kinda
got
is
Claypool
scary
in the
going
6th,
forward.
who that's, he's just not panning out.
Who? Claypool?
Claypool, yep. So he got, and then he got Ridley in the 2nd, who, yeah, Ridley is good, but in the 2nd, he just didn't get the value back.
Yeah,
for
I'd
Ridley.
say second round. It's
So
not good.
after that, after
what it
his Claypool at 6, and in that, remember, there's Claypool, Edwards, Ridley, and McCaffrey. I mean, it wasn't fantastic already. Then it's Javonte Williams, Corey Davis, Michael Carter, Curtis Samuel, Sony Michel, Darnell Mooney, who he dropped, Trey Lance, Logan Thomas, Philip Lindsay. There's not a single like gem in there. It's really really unfortunate. I'm sorry. You just did not pull it off this year with the draft. You unlucked it.
Did. Wasn't my year.
Now
Yeah,
from
it is.
Time past the buck.
I just
I think
it's
the
tough
difference-
for me to decide, honestly.
The difference between you and me is I think I drafted worse early. However, they weren't quite. I didn't have the injury problem that you had.
Yeah, I think that's where this one's hard because it's so easy to be like, oh, your draft was the worst, but it was, I lost Gus Edwards 2 days after the draft or whatever.
Right. Now we're not putting this as a blame as you're a bad drafter, but it's just the worst drafted team.
And I think I take it. I take it far, but
and so for me, I got Ayuk, which really hurt. Which, by the way, as I stole my pick sticker on because you want him, so it's just proof that you and me just were not the drafters.
No, it's not talking about that. I own him. I still hope.
You do. You have him now. Edwards in the first round still ended up not being completely horrible before I got him. Absolutely horrible. Gibson was a letdown for where I got him. Jacobs' injuries have plagued him, although when he plays, he's good.
Honestly,
but
this isn't even a conversation,
Beckham,
Will.
Pittman,
I was the worst drafter because your players are making other teams better. You're more conversation with trades.
Yeah. No,
Because if you added one of your waiver pickups, your team would be really pretty good.
I mean, if I got Williams for the replacement of Edwards-Helaire, but I don't think I would have with my money. But
it's even for me. I don't know which one I'd rather have, honestly.
You don't want either. Trust me on that.
Well, we're kind of in that tier.
Honestly, I think I'd rather have Zach's, to be honest, just because of name values.
Ooh. Yeah, you do like
you can trade because then you can
values.
Trade those.
Yeah,
that would be the only reason.
Yeah,
but I think
that's true.
Talent-wise, they're probably the same with the list, but. We want to move on to our best one?
Yep, our best draft.
Honorable mention.
Coleman. And, Coleman, which I don't want to give Coleman too many compliments, but no, I'm just kidding.
No, we'll wait.
Coleman had a good draft.
Well, let's see what the chat's saying. The chat's saying Jordan best.
Kevin.
Jordan or Kevin best. Kevin. Guys, who's the worst? Okay, Will worst for me. Lost the league in the first 2 rounds. Okay.
Okay. Next.
No, I mean, technically, though, in terms of how bad they did, but in terms of the first 2 rounds, I'd still take Edwards and Gibson over McCaffrey and Ridley because of what happened. Unfortunately for Zach, I'm not saying Zach made a mistake there. He just got unlucky. But
I looked like
would you rather have had? Let's say you're starting week 1, you know the same things are going to happen. Would you rather have McCaffrey and Ridley or Edwards and Gibson?
Well, I think you have to throw CMC.
Sorry, that's what I mean. I'm sorry, McCaffrey. Yeah, McCaffrey and Ridley.
Yeah, I would rather have Zach's top 3 than your top 3 because of trade values.
Zach's top 3 over my top 3, yes. I agree with that. But I'm talking about top 2. He said top 2 rounds of the draft. That's what I was talking about that. But then, Zach has a period where he's got no gems.
Yeah, but you were asking me about top 3.
He said, no, I said top 2.
But they're saying what? Yeah, they're basically saying
don't say in the first 2 rounds of the draft I lost it, and I was talking about my first 2 rounds versus Zach's 2 rounds.
Right, and I think they're saying we're comparable, but what Mike is bringing up, and that's what the chat is saying, is a trade. And like they even said, that's kind of what I did. I pulled off getting Jonathan Taylor, who was picked 4 picks after I hurt McCaffrey, where you traded CEH for Smith, who was traded up in the 9th round.
Your players performed better, but Zach had more value.
We'll get to that. The CEH for Smith trade was something. At the time, CEH had a total of like 9 points in the league, but I messed that up bad. Anyways,
so
go ahead.
Our honorable mentions for best draft were Coleman, which Coleman had a great draft, and then Kevin as well.
Kevin, you were in the honorable mention.
You were in the honorable mention.
It makes it pretty clear who the winner was.
Our winner was Jordan.
Brad Jordan.
Which Jordan, I think it's honestly pretty clear cut. I don't think he maybe made 1 trade. But
I think he just
said
he has not
is there's none.
Yeah.
I mean, the depth of his team is unreal. I'm just going to read it real quick.
There's not a bad one in here.
Are you reading this on the phone or the draft board? Because it's the same.
Other than Michael Thomas,
who should do that.
Sucks here, but it's.
But same thing. If that can help him in a playoff scenario.
Yeah, Kamara, Mixon, Robinson, Cooper, Woods, Deontay Johnson, Antonio Brown, Michael Thomas, Melvin Gordon, Marquise Brown, Marquez Callaway, who's looking really good now. Tom Brady.
He dropped him. But
Tom Brady, Dallas Goedert. And then Tevin Coleman and Buffalo, who are like actually still has Buffalo.
It's an elite draft.
He dropped a few.
It's easily elite draft, for it. Kevin, you drafted A.J. Brown and Miles Sanders, so I don't think I can give it to you. That's probably the main reason.
That's it. That's the only reason, because you did good. Well,
I'm sorry. People in here are saying I mentioned Kevin, but Kevin never drafts his team. I don't think Kevin will ever win this award.
Kevin won it in trades, but Kevin did draft well. He did draft pretty well, but there's also a lot of holes in Kevin's draft where Jordan doesn't have holes.
All right, here. I'm going to solve this. Our next award, most trades.
Most trades?
Most trades. And this happens every year.
It's me.
Is Kevin and Logan at 12.
What?
Yeah,
was that last year?
That's last year.
Yeah,
never mind.
Okay, I was gonna say, it's me.
Look at this shit.
We're talking about, but when we get into best trades, When we get into best trades, though.
I need to be the guy that updates the sheet.
Yeah, we were doing it kind of last minute. Yeah.
When we get into best trades, though, we will.
We don't ever say the most amount because
we haven't said it, but it was. I
didn't have time to.
Gosh, fucking idiot! I'm alive.
It was tied between me and Kevin, like 2 weeks ago, and I've made quite a few cents, and he's made maybe one. Anyways.
Yeah. So Jordan, best draft, worst. Are you saying worst trader now?
Best and worst traders.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, we can do worst trader, which
honorable mention.
Honorable mention is you, Logan.
Is you, Logan?
Yeah, I would be curious what the league thought, but I don't mind the people you got. It's just I wish you would have got more for who you traded.
So
that's all it is.
The thing with Kevin with Logan is, I think both of you guys wanted to put it as Logan over the person who was the worst.
Thanks.
Not in a bad way. You guys just. I'm not.
What cracks me up?
Not in a bad way. Look. When you hear my whole point and who I'm saying is worse, it's not a bad thing. But then we talked about how, yeah, we see his trades and we think, oh man, every time we see him, we're like, what the heck is he doing? And then just things keep on working out for him. These trades. So I don't understand how it's happening or how he's reading minds like this, but it just keeps on working out for him. And every single one, I mean, he keeps on. Now, this Hill one he just recently did, I think we all like.
That's good. I like Zeke more, but
the other one he did this week, we did not like. The one where he gave up Godwin and Gibson.
Yep.
But who knows? It'll probably work out for him again.
It's the moment when his trades come through. It's the what is happening. Is he quitting? Is he done? But he's doing some hardcore research. He's looking at
adult. Sorry, go ahead. I was talking adult.
He's like really looking into it, but it is hard to look back and see the players he's shipped off for what they've been. But in the sense of building a team, and he does this every year. He brings his team back. He just has to be careful not to do those extra trades, and I think he always does those extra trades. And I think he might have just done one of them. Like he had his team good, and then the Gibson Godwin one might have just been a little bit too much. So I will never knock on Logan because he can do something I can never do, and he's fully turned his team around.
I have to say this, Kevin Connor for Lockett seems genius now. It does now, but he could have gotten way more.
And it doesn't seem genius in that one for me. It seems more lucky.
And it's working out for him. I want to make sure
he's also genius now. But
it's also the same week he dropped Russell Wilson before the Russell Wilson thing. Like I don't know how he predicted what was going to happen, but he sure did.
It worked out.
But it was a little crazy
at the moment.
Because remember, he traded Elijah Mitchell to you pretty much for Russell Wilson, who he dropped. So.
Who was the second quarterback?
It ended up working out that he dropped Russell Wilson, but he would not have dropped Elijah Mitchell. So in that case, that's part of it. But he was not the worst trader because there's a clear cut, in my opinion, worst trader.
I'm actually shocked. He's not in the chat anymore, but Robin's name came up multiple times in the chat.
I'm surprised by that too, a little bit.
But I didn't think of it, but when you do really sit down, and it's interesting. But he did gain value out of some items, but he did do some interesting ones. But he wasn't anywhere on our list.
It's me.
Worst trader.
So I traded Clyde for Smith. There was the one trade that we talked about a little bit ago that you at one point called one of the worst in our league's history, where I traded Miles Sanders and who was it?
McLaurin.
Miles Sanders and McLaurin for Sutton and Edmonds.
Yep.
But then there was also the one that I look at, which is like the worst trade I've ever made, and I can't believe I made this, other than the Hill one. But when I did the Hill one, Alex Smith was still the quarterback. I didn't know Hill was as good as he is. I knew he was good, but not that good. But this one, I traded away. Can you guys read it to me? I can't see it in front of me right now. Do you guys have it?
Sorry, I was looking at the Kevin says something. I'm just
okay. Well, I traded away. I traded away Gibson and Pittman. Pittman, and Ayuk. For I got from Kevin, and I got Miles Sanders, and I think that's it.
You got one other person,
but I think he was completely irrelevant.
Yeah, you've had some questionable trades for sure. And I think why do you make these trades? You just believe in your player that you're going for, or you forget the value of your own player?
I was tilting in that situation. But usually it's because I'm such a instant gratification person, and I'm offering trades left and right, and people are not taking them, and I'm just like, all right, so I just keep going lower and lower on the trades because I'm trying to get someone to take a trade, and then I end up going too low.
I just it's the early tilt for me. It's not starting your superstars and it's trading away your superstars. If you're going to trade away a Josh Jacobs or a CH, that at that time of year, that is the most value. You drafted them 20th overall, 11th overall, whatever the number is, you got to get that back. And that's where my question marks fall. I think your trades later on in the year, they're normal. They're what everyone's trying to do. Yeah. Do you gain? Do you try to go for that high-risk player? Do you go for depth?
Yeah,
I don't question those. Your first 3-round guys going so quick.
I buy two into like a couple weeks instead of a couple, like 5.
Logan has a question for me. Would I have traded Gibson and Godwin for Eckler? No. I would have done it for Swift.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
100%.
Wow.
Before Gibson injury?
It happened before that.
Yeah, I would have done it for Swift.
Wow. Well, that's unfortunate for Logan to probably hear, because that would have been. I think Mike would have lost that one, to be honest.
Yeah,
but
that's who I would have done it for.
Who did you get? Oh, we got Fournette. Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Now Fournette's still really good, but
no, I mean I think those are 2 solid bench players. I mean that's something I would have considered for JT at the time.
Yeah.
Bench
where
players.
I was.
Bench players. You mean starters?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
He likes Lenny better than Swift. Okay. And that's okay. It's your team.
I just can't. I mean, it happened last year where the Bucs kind of switched back and forth on who they wanted to be the starting running back there, and I wouldn't. I do love Fournette, but would any of us be really that surprised if all of a sudden they decide, it's time to give Ronald Jones a bunch of cut touches again? Like, we wouldn't be that surprised,
or
and he will
save Fournette for the playoffs or what? That team is playing for a Super Bowl.
If Fournette gets, Fournette, I don't know. I super
Fournette
disagree.
Will be better than Swift.
Yeah,
the receiving game that Swift gets is so valuable.
My main point with that trade, Logan, is that you don't have the deepest team, I feel, and you gave up 2 for 1. That's kind of the reason. It's the situational thing. That's kind of why
I just like the reception so much.
I do too. It's interesting. Eckler's a top 5, maybe even 3 back this year.
3. He's a top 3 back.
There's no way I would do that one.
I mean, McCaffrey. If he comes back full force, then no. But if he doesn't, then it's Henry. Well, yeah, he's a top 5, 100%. That's locked. Yeah.
I strongly believe top 3 for sure.
So we went over our worst. Who are our best?
Best traders. Honorable mention. Was you, Mike?
I try.
Yeah, you've done good.
Thanks.
Obviously, we know where you stand now. Injuries, buys, things like that. We're going to hurt you, but you sold high on a lot of guys. And, I mean, how many first-round picks do you own now? And I know draft capital gets lost at some point, but your starting 4 running backs are insane. Yeah. You're trying to survive injury weeks and
the craziest
weeks.
Thing, though, is that he at one point had those, and when it was still Eckler, he had those 4 incredible running backs when there weren't injuries. He had done it.
Right.
He was able to get them not because they were injured. The injuries happened to him, unfortunately. But he was able, through trades, to get those guys healthy.
Too. And he's got them back. So now it's Eckler, Chubb, Najee, Saquon. So Saquon's the one that he had that was injured and now is injured. I think is what I was referencing. But
Chubb is too.
And then the Chubb is unfortunate for you, but man,
he
comes back healthy.
But we'll see what happens.
I actually don't think the Chubb one was unfortunate for him. I think for a second it looked like it was, and I think now with Hunt being out way longer than Chubb, I think that actually could be better for him. Because Hunt was taking more of Chubb's work than usual this year.
Yeah, that's fair.
And that's definitely not. I mean, even if somebody else comes in and takes some of the work, it's not going to take as much as it was being taken. So that's big.
Yeah, so I think I've turned it around since week 1, but not better than who's our winner of this award.
Kevin, we all know.
Kevin. So Kevin, you've been killing it with trades this year, man.
My full stat of 12, number highest trader, but his team is not what it was drafted to be. He earned it.
He knew going into it it was for trading, and he was able to make the trading happen, and he did it patiently this time instead of super aggressively, and he did a really freaking good job.
Yeah, I mean, he has 5 wide receivers in the top 10. That speaks for itself right there.
He can't even start all of them, no matter what.
Which he will be trading 100%.
He will trade.
Yeah, for RB2 because he needs one. So
he could.
We'll come up with a deal.
He could very realistically trade for an RB1. He could trade 2 of those wide receivers for an RB1 and still have the starting lineup without having any issues. It's something. So yeah, it's Kevin. It's been a fun year, guys.
Congrats, Kevin. I think we have a couple more awards real quick.
Yeah, some quick ones.
Yeah, just
I'm not gonna talk. Just kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mean, just Mr. Consistent this year has been Kevin. with 120 points.
All right, we can end the chat. We're talking too much about Kevin, too much about Coleman. We can just end all this.
I will also say that Robin is, even though Robin's not doing super hot and he's a little bit low right now, Robin's been consistent. He hasn't had a blow-up week, but he's not had bad weeks.
Yeah, that's fair.
Biggest upset of the year was Dalton over Kevin on that Monday Night Football with the Ravens.
Ooh.
That was the biggest upset of the year.
Man,
easily.
Kevin against Monday Night players has been ridiculous.
And then most improved player of the year, I would say it's Coleman.
I'd say so for the biggest turnaround. We mentioned Brad.
It's Brad and Coleman
on his up, but Coleman by far.
But I think Brad made his
player.
step last year a little bit, and Coleman's making his this year.
Yeah.
But Coleman's is like.
Now remember, Coleman has
boom.
been hot before early on, but it's usually been because like he drafted really good starters and had absolutely no depth. This year he has some depth, which is different.
He got Coleman trades. Coleman got the trades he usually doles out. He was on the receiving end of some of them this year, and I think that's the biggest game changer. Nothing against what he's done. He's been on the right end of some trades.
He has some really bad takes on trades, but also the fact that he's just not looking to trade anything and has those bad takes means he's not giving out any trades, and he's only accepting ones when the really lucky, crazy good ones come to him, and then he just takes it.
Yeah. So I think that wraps up awards for the year. We'll probably do a postseason awards and see how everything is. But,
he's always enjoyable.
I think you guys just want to send the matchups into the chat.
Yeah, I don't think
we need to go
it's not
through
worth
it
talking
too
about
much.
in here with everyone, but
let's just really quickly go over. Okay, while we go over these, anybody have any? Okay, so we have a couple prop bet ideas, right?
Well, you can mention but we're not talking about matchups this week.
I just want to just name the odds, just to hear them.
Okay.
Just
Let
name
me
them,
find
not
it.
go
Sorry.
over the matchups.
Okay.
But so the prop bet ideas we had, I like the one. So we got the bipocalypse going on. There's 3 teams that just look a little bit decimated.
They're talking about it. I do feel bad. I guess. Wow. Yeah. I guess we just assume from like Coleman's kind of quitting attitude. But Dalt had 2 wins last year, and he's already beat his.
That is a good point. Actually.
No, but Dalt was still good last year.
Yeah, Dalt had a good team. He
Dalt
just got really
screwed.
unlucky.
If there was, I wanted to do
Yeah.
I wanted to do the most unlucky person this year, but it's hard to kind of do. So I wanted to put for fun in here a joke because it's just absolutely crazy that the most unlucky person this year would be still Dalt from last year with how many points were scored against the guy. I mean, the amount of points scored against Dalt, if those points were scored by a single team, would be the most dominant team of all freaking time last year.
Yeah, like you said, Dalt's team was good last year. It didn't have anything to do with his ability whatsoever. It's more...
If anything, his team probably, I haven't looked at it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's got less points than it had last year at this point in time. I mean, Dalt got so unbelievably screwed last year. I never absolutely loved his team last year, but
it was good. It was competitive. That's the thing. You can tell.
Yeah, he had 100. So he had 159 points averaged against him. That's way more than Kevin's averaging right now, and Kevin's killing it.
That's way more than anyone's ever averaged in fantasy. That's insane.
So I don't think Dalton's most improved. Dolphin is clearly good at fantasy and knows what he's doing. He just got incredibly screwed last year. Nothing to do with his skill.
And Dolphin, if you're available next week, we'd like to interview you.
I think he would say he wanted to be on, so we'll see what we can do.
We'll see if we can get you on.
So our idea for a prop bet was.
Can the book look over it?
Yeah, we'll look over it.
We'll
look over it. Yeah, okay. So we don't have a prop bet right now. It's just an idea we have. We might not do, but just let us know if you like it. Go ahead.
Involving me.
Yeah, so we'll just go through the matchups real quick. So Logan and Jordan play this week. Logan is an underdog at plus 120, and Jordan's the favorite at negative 125. Over under 223.5. It is. So then we have Kevin versus Will, which Kevin's a heavy favorite at negative 200, and Will is a underdog at plus 150. Over under in this game is
I'm just gonna get screwed.
235.5 is the over under.
Mollywopped.
It'll be interesting what kind of bet you get on this with all the buys and everything.
I think we're gonna look at it again just to make sure of everything. We got Zach versus Dalton. Actually, I think it's fine. Actually, Zach versus Dalton in the next matchup, which Zach is the underdog in this one at plus 175, and Dalton at negative 145. Over under in this game is 219.5. Matchup number 4 is Robin versus Coleman. Robin at plus 125 is the underdog, and Coleman at negative 130. This is my upset of the week. Robin over Coleman. 236.5 is the over-under in this game. And then we have I think it's going to be the Poop Bowl this week, is myself versus Brad. And it's a pick'em, and we don't have an over-under on it.
Take it. I wanted to hear that.
Yeah, we don't have an over-under because we don't know yet.
The question's gonna be, and we're not there's no real bets on this, but I'm curious what you guys think. Will they both start a full lineup or not? Because I don't think that's gonna happen.
I think we'll all bet that no, they will
That'll
not.
be interesting. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. Me and Brad had a lot of buys this week. You know,
Crazy you guys
Not
matched
Kevin.
up.
crazy.
Yeah.
Matched up, isn't it?
Yeah, wish I matched up against one of you guys.
Yeah. I mean, is there anything else you guys want to talk about, or good?
Are we going to go live on the others? Is that what we're leaning towards?
If they like the live, I will say it makes it a little longer because we're answering
'cause that's the
questions.
thing, like,
I
our
do
goal
want to
is
say
structure.
that.
It's
Well,
hard.
I do. The rankings, like I thought did last so long. The amount of talking that it led into every time. But yeah, the questions make it longer. But also, I think it makes it so it doesn't. We're not as worried about how long it is because people aren't just listening to it afterwards. They're here during it. So, and if they want to just leave, they can. If they leave midway through, they can go and watch the stuff they missed if they want to.
Awards
And
did
I don't
make it
have to.
longer.
I don't have to stay up extra late uploading everything and editing stupid shit.
They like it. They said awards does make it longer. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
They like the live.
Cool. We like it. I like it. I like being able to see what you guys think.
Yeah,
during
that
it,
was
too.
fun. I liked getting the pulse of the league and made it a lot better. So,
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed the award show. We'll see what happens next week, and
And we'll keep you updated on interviews because we do go live. Probably no more we'll see what we can do.
that'll be cool. Can the computer handle 2 once?
It's handling, and I'm in low latency right now. So worst case scenario, I won't be able to read the chats as fast. I'll turn on high latency, or
I can read it from mine.
yeah. Well, no, I mean what they see they'll be seeing it like a minute afterwards. But I mean,
okay.
the fact that it's running this so smoothly, I'm not as worried about it. So we should be fine.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks, guys.
Thank
we
you,
appreciate
everybody.
it.
Hey, we need to get Dan more involved. Number one fan.
Yeah, number one fan.
Appreciate
for sure.
him.
I'm gonna go end it now. You guys can say your last pieces.
We're good. I don't
Yeah,
want to
say-
see these guys. I'm
was
honestly
fun.
fine if I don't see any of them on Saturday or anything.
My face. See you guys.